Give me my certificate.
Okay.
Amy Stone, CBS 2.
What we do for work. That's the CBS Morning News for this Tuesday. Thanks for being here with us, and we hope you'll join us later for The Early Show. I'm Randall Pinkston. Have a great day.
For news 24 hours a day, CBS.com on the Internet and on our interactive partner, America Online, at keyword CBS News.
Experience you can trust. CBS News.
Survivor 2, the location, the challenges, the contestants. What will it be like? Who will be playing the game? All your questions will be answered. And best of all, the new contestants will be revealed. Find out the secrets of Survivor 2, starting Wednesday on The Early Show. Wake up to what's happening with Bryant Gumbel and Jane Clayson.
Don't miss JAG, tonight on CBS.
If you've been injured in any accident, dial 1-800-LAW-3333. You need a law firm that won't back down and will fight hard for every dollar you deserve.
Call the Yankowitz Law Firm at 1-800-LAW-3333.
When I walk through the doors at CBS, there are so many great memories that I have.
CBS 2 welcomes back Ernie Anastos.
You know, there's a terrific group of people here. So many good reporters that I've worked with in the past, and some new reporters, people who've come to this city hungry, thirsty, and excited about going out there and being the eyes and ears of the public. And that's the spirit and attitude that I love being a part of.
Ernie Anastos, weeknights 6 and 11 on the CBS 2 Information Network.
It's great to be back at CBS 2.
If you know a kid with a terminal illness who'd like to take their family on vacation for free, call Give Kids the World. We'll never forget it.
Tuesday, Indian Culture and Cuisine on Martha Stewart Living.
You're watching the CBS 2 Information Network.
Now, live from Fifth Avenue, this is the news this morning.
Welcome, everybody, on this second day of January 2001. I'm Lisa Hill.
Good to have you.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Pleasure is all ours. I'm Michael Pomeranz. It's 5 o'clock. 22 degrees out right now. Should go up to 30 today.
We're going to check weather and traffic together every 10 minutes on the tubes.
First, though, we'll look at your top stories at 5. More details are emerging about the man accused of trying to handcuff himself to Archbishop Edward Egan. Police say the suspect, 38-year-old Timothy Byrne, has a history of mental illness and a grudge against the Catholic Church. We'll have the latest developments in this bizarre incident inside St. Patrick's Cathedral.
A consumer group says troubled Firestone tire problems are bigger than the company has been telling the public. The group Public Citizen wants the government to order a recall of some 40 million more Firestone tires. The recall would involve all of the company's Wilderness tires, not just the 15 models recalled last summer.
President Clinton will meet with Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat at the White House today in one more attempt to get the Mideast peace process back on track. That meeting comes a day after more than 50 Israelis were hurt in a car bomb attack.
A suspect has been charged with New York City's second homicide of 2001. A 22-year-old woman who was 9 months pregnant was found shot to death just before 2 o'clock yesterday morning in the Bronx. Her unborn child also died. Police have arrested 29-year-old Jeffrey Freeman. He's charged with second-degree murder.
Mayor Giuliani locked in a showdown with the Port Authority over snow removal. The mayor says aerial photos of Kennedy Airport show that the PA did a poor job of plowing the runways. The PA denies that, saying the airlines were responsible for the weekend's flight delays. The mayor has been saying for years now that the city should run the airports, not the Port Authority.
And meet the first new New Yorker of the new year, and some would argue the first of the true new millennium. That was Peter Robinson Ashfield. There he is. He arrived at the stroke of midnight yesterday morning at Downstate Medical Center in Brooklyn. Doing well.
Traffic and weather on the tubes.
Bring back some memories?
Yeah.
Real recent memories?
3.5 months ago.
Wow. 21 degrees out in 502 right now. Hello, Carrie Lee.
Oh, Michael. And Lisa Hill, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to be here.
Good to have you with us. And Michael Well, it's always interesting to see you. At least you don't sound like Betty Davis today, and that's always a good thing. Good job.
Did it sound really bad?
By the way.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we got traffic, not much of it really, but the big deal today is, of course, going to be snow removal. Let's take a quick spin around the roadways. Here's what I'd like to show you. That's over by Newark Airport. That's interchange 14 of the New Jersey Turnpike. As you can see, traffic is moving along just fine. No big problems. Most of the snow has been removed out of that area. You don't have any speed restrictions. Things are in good shape for you. Grand Central by LaGuardia, as you can see, lots of snow in the background there, but traffic's moving along just fine. This note, inbound Gowanus, Michael's favorite road, the HOV lane is closed down due to snow removal, and this is going to last through the morning rush, so you may want to plan an alternate route. Now, Mass Transit is on schedule. Alternate side rules have been suspended until they complete all of the snow removal. That could take a couple more days. So with traffic and weather every 10 minutes on the twos, Tony Penn has your forecast.
Gary, thanks. Good morning, everyone. Things are pretty quiet for us right now. It's just cold out there. We have varying degrees of cold, and I'll show you what I mean in a moment. 21 degrees right now at Central Park, a north wind at 5. That's not too bad. There's a little cloud cover around the city, but look at the temperatures up north. We have clear skies right now. Clouds keep you warmer at night. Remember that? Cloud cover from the city on south, 20s. It's 7 in Andover, and it's 3 below 0 right now in Poughkeepsie. That's not the wind chill. That's the actual temperature. I thought it was a typo, but it is correct. Temperatures are below 0 in our northern suburbs. Little system pushing off to our south is creating a cloud cover here, but I think that's going to stay to our south, and we'll wind up with some sunshine across most of the viewing area later this morning and this afternoon. So we'll just say a mixture of clouds and sunshine. We'll make it into the upper 20s to around 30 degrees. Check the 5-day forecast when I come back in just a few minutes. For now, I'll send it over to Michael.
All right, Tony, thank you. It's 5:04 right now, and we are learning more about that man who accosted Archbishop Edward Egan during Mass yesterday at St. Patrick's Cathedral. According to reports, Timothy Byrne was questioned after he made threats against President Clinton in 1999, and they quote police as saying that he had a long history of legal disputes with churches. Byrne reportedly was carrying a backpack filled with lawsuits claiming Jesus Christ was a hoax. CBS 2 reporter Amy Nuzzo with more on this attack.
The attack on Archbishop Edward Egan happened during a morning mass at St. Patrick's Cathedral as parishioners were online to receive communion. When a 38-year-old man reached the front of the line, police say rather than taking communion, Timothy Byrne tried to handcuff himself to the Archbishop. Unsuccessful, the Hoboken man was subdued and arrested by an off-duty Sergeant Daniel DePrenda, who was attending mass. Byrne allegedly had on him 2 sets of handcuffs and 2 cans of mace.
It's outrageous. This is horrible, without question. And you're telling me this, and I'm shocked.
Catholics attending Mass at St. Patrick's on this religious day of obligation were outraged.
Oh, it's awful. I mean, I don't understand it at all. How could that happen? Why would anyone do it? It defies logic.
It's not the first time an intruder has disrupted the peace of St. Patrick's. In 1988, Cuban immigrant Jorge Delgado stormed naked into the Midtown Manhattan Cathedral, hoisted an iron bar, and killed a 77-year-old usher before police shot him dead. The following year, the late John Cardinal O'Connor was shouted down by demonstrators, some who chained themselves to pews, others who threw communion hosts on the floor to protest the Catholic Church's stance against condoms and abortion.
That's a horrifying desecration.
Neither Archbishop Egan nor the Archdiocese would talk to us about the bizarre incident that's left even hardened New Yorkers scratching their heads.
It only could happen in New York. The next thing is going to be metal detectors in churches. This is insane. I mean, I can't even feel safe in church now anymore.
Byrne has been charged with unlawful attempted imprisonment, obstructing a religious service, criminal possession of a weapon, harassment, and resisting arrest. For the news this morning, Amy Nuzzo, CBS 2.
We have some breaking news in Brooklyn this morning. Police are at the scene of a deadly accident that took the lives of 4 people. This happened just a little over an hour ago. Emily Francis is live in Dyker Heights with the latest. Emily.
Well, good morning, Lisa. This really is a tragic story. Apparently, about an hour ago, 4 people in a Dodge Intrepid in that car right there. We don't even know if they're part of the same family at this point. They were driving along this street, which is Bay Ridge Parkway, and they ran into that sanitation truck. At this point, we don't know if the sanitation truck was in the process of plowing up snow and ice or if it was just parked along the side of the street. But the car did explode on impact, killing all 4 people inside the car. You can see that this scene is still teeming with all kinds of officials. We have people from the NYPD, New York City Fire, as well as EMS. Right now what they're trying to do is remove the vehicle. That's basically the first thing that they're doing at this point. Again, we don't know the cause. Information is still very scarce. Hopefully we will have more during our next live shot. We will talk to some officials and be able to give you whatever it is that they can tell us. Reporting live from Dyker Heights, I'm Emily Francis, CBS 2.
Okay, Emily, we'll check in with you in just a few more minutes. President Clinton will meet with Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat today, still hoping to get a peace deal before he leaves the White House. The meeting comes as the violence between Palestinians and Israelis intensifies. Yesterday, 54 people were hurt when a car bomb exploded on a crowded street in the coastal city of Netanya. It's about 20 miles north of Tel Aviv. Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak says he doubts Arafat is serious about reaching a peace agreement. Barak says yesterday's attack shows the Palestinian leader is still encouraging violence.
Mayor Giuliani's crackdown on sex shops may not be what it's cracked up to be. Only 2 sex clubs out of 144 targeted have reportedly been shut down under the mayor's tough 1998 zoning law, which limits where the clubs can be located. Mayor says the law has been beneficial because sex clubs have toned down. Some cleaned up their act by selling food as well as videos that are not sexually explicit. Some people say they don't mind having the clubs in their neighborhood.
People attend sex clubs, topless joints, because that's what they want to do. And as far as I know, we've lived in this neighborhood for years and years. As far as I know, they've never caused a problem.
Mayor says he'll introduce new legislation soon that will further tighten the restrictions on those sex shops.
The time now is approaching 5:09. There is much more to come up next. A very unhappy start to the new year for some homeowners. Their houses got flooded by raw sewage.
Plus, we'll check weather. We'll check traffic. We'll check everything in 2 minutes. Stay with us.
You're watching the CBS 2 Information Network.
You want to see extreme? This is extreme. Extremely thick and extremely heavy. My buttermilk dinette is ridiculous at only $6.99. When you see it, you will agree. It has not 4, but 6 chairs. This Lazy Susan is valued at $49. However, I don't know Susan. So you come in and ask for a Lazy Bob, and I will include it with this dinette at no additional charge.
The beginning of a new year. A chance to start fresh, to set goals. A chance to make a difference in your health and the way you feel. The perfect time to make an appointment with a dentist. At 1-800-DENTIST, we know how important regular dental care is in keeping your teeth healthy. So why not stick to your New Year's resolutions and take care of yourself? It's a whole new year. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-DENTIST, and we'll help you find a pre-screened dentist in your area. Call us today.
Need extra cash? Don't charge it on your credit cards. Get a second mortgage with no closing costs from Ditech.com. With a second mortgage, you can consolidate all your existing high-interest debts, get the cash you need for any purpose, and end up with one lower monthly payment. A second mortgage with no closing costs is smart money from Ditech.com. Log on now for fast online approval or call us at 1-800-71-FIXED.
Charlie Sheen's weight loss. And then I lost close to 30. We'll show you the food that helped him shed the pounds. Then, Kate Capshaw's controversial new movie with Elle Macpherson and stars in Aspen next ET.
Tonight at 7 on CBS 2.
It's Hollywood Square's Survivor Week. All the rats consumed this week will be catered by Spago. Plus Jenna Lewis, Jervis Peterson, Stu Hawk, and Rich Hatch next Hollywood Squares.
Tonight at 7:30 on CBS 2.
We are fast approaching 5:12. Time to check traffic and weather on the twos. Let's go ahead and start with Carrie Lee. Good morning, Carrie.
Hey, Carrie.
Good morning, you too. Well, you know what? We've got a pretty decent ride out there so far. We don't have any major problems. The biggest troubles today are obviously going to be snow removal. Let's take a quick spin around. Here's what I can show you on the roadways. New Jersey Turnpike, as you can see, traffic is moving along just fine. We don't have any really major problems or backups there. Van Wyck at the Kew Gardens interchange. As you can see, a little bit of a slick road surface. It's not ice, though. It's just going to be a little wet. That's because of all the cleanup, and then you got to deal with the runoff with that. A couple of problems in Brooklyn. The Bay Ridge Parkway at 12th Avenue. We got an accident investigation going on. That's going to be under investigation for a while. Also, the inbound Gowanus HOV lane will be closed down due to snow removal throughout the morning rush hour. You may want to take a different road because that will cause some big delays. At this point, though, mass transit is on time. Alternate side rules have been suspended until they clear up all of the snow on the roadways. On traffic and weather every 10 minutes on the twos. Tony Pan has your forecast.
Carrie, thanks. Good morning, everyone. The big story in the weather department today is a huge range in temperatures. 21 degrees right now in the city. From there south, it's in the 20s. We've got a little cloud cover around. Keeps things warmer at night. Look at the temperature for Poughkeepsie. 3 below. That's not the wind chill. That's the actual temperature. It's 7 in Andover. So if you're watching in the northern suburbs, be prepared for some big-time cold. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Little cloud cover from a system passing to our south, but we should wind up with some dry weather today. So we'll just say a mixture of clouds and sunshine. High temperatures, upper 20s to around 30 degrees. The 5-day forecast, here's something we haven't seen for a while. Something to look forward to. How about 40 on Saturday? A few snow flurries maybe Thursday and Friday. 40 on Saturday. Last time we did that was on December the 19th. So, a couple days down the road, get back closer to normal.
Yeah.
It's like a heat wave.
Like a heat wave. People be walking around in shorts and T-shirts.
Break out the copper tail.
That's right.
Thank you, sir. 5:13 right now. And a water main break made for some big problems on Long Island yesterday. Crews worked all day to clean up this mess, and CBS 2 reporter Amanda Grove was there.
It may look like a New Year's Day neighborhood gathering, but unfortunately for the Stagnetta family, the circumstances were not pleasant. The cold weather caused a water main break, which caused sewage to back up into their basement. Flood was so bad they had to turn off their heat and were ordered to stay out of the house for health reasons. Sal Stagnetta says it's not the way he and his family envisioned spending New Year's Day.
If this is any indication of the way the New Year's going to start off, I think I want to go back to sleep and start all over again. The water was gushing out of the toilet bowl and out of the shower like it was coming out of a fire hose.
With the help of family and friends, they managed to get most of the furniture and personal belongings out of the flooded basement. But they couldn't work fast enough, and some rugs, clothes, furniture, and family pictures remained. Several other homes on the street also flooded. This man had to remove his newborn from his house because of the health risk. And his mother, who was confined to a wheelchair, had to get by wrapped in blankets because there was no heat.
The sewer backed up, and it's like I have 3 inches of water in my basement. I had to shut down the boiler. I had to shut down certain circuits in the house. And it's been a disaster this morning.
Suffolk County crews were out repairing the water main break and pumping the flooded neighborhood. Officials say the incident did not affect the drinking water supply.
I do want to emphasize that the public water supply is absolutely safe in this area at this point.
In West Babylon, Amanda Grove, CBS 2.
Time now is now 5:14. Coming up, a blast from the past. Officials are going to open up a 100-year-old time capsule.
And we'll also have this.
Seen everything. I'm Amy Stone, coming up on CBS 2. We're going swimming.
It's a little something I've done every night since I was a kid. Empty my pocket change into this old jar. It's never much, just what's left after I break $1. And I never thought I could get quality life insurance with my spare change.
Neither did I, until I saw a commercial for Conseco Direct Life. Imagine people our age getting life insurance at such an affordable rate.
If you're between 50 and 85, call now for free information on guaranteed acceptance life insurance. That's easy on your budget and just as easy to get. Now, there's no medical exam to take and no health questions will be asked. You know, for about 25 cents a day, you can have the protection to help cover your final expenses, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. This coverage cannot be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Your premium will never increase and your benefit will never decrease due to age. Plus, your coverage bill's cash value. That's money you can borrow against. You know, the average cost of a funeral today is over $5,000, and that can be a big burden for anyone to place on their loved ones. I'm doing this commercial because I believe in Conseco Direct Life. They make it easy and affordable to get the coverage you need. Call now for free information and a free gift.
All I did was make a phone call to Conseco Direct Life. They answered all my questions.
It couldn't have been any easier. And we've both got the coverage we should have had for years now.
Mm-hmm. With change to spare.
Conseco Direct Life is proud of its 35-year history of providing quality life insurance. Call toll-free 1-800-242-6897 to receive free information in the mail about this valuable life insurance. Rates are only $6.95 a unit per month and never go up. Dial 1-800-242-6897. The call is free, and so is this handy guide to Social Security. Operators are available 24 hours a day. Call now, 1-800-242-6897. There's no risk or obligation. That's 1-800-242-6897.
And now the headlines from one of our partners in the Information Network, the Daily News. The doctor who was the subject of a dramatic life-saving flight to the South Pole a couple of years ago is now going through some new anguish. Dr. Jerry Nielsen says it's not breast cancer again, that's in remission, but she's upset because she has not heard from her 3 teenage children since her messy divorce. An aspiring music producer who lost 3 fingers in a subway mugging last week says the attack has not derailed his dreams. The wheels of the train ran over Eris Gill's hand as he fought with 3 muggers at a station in Queens. The 20-year-old says he will come back to New York once he's finished rehab in his home state of Florida. And a judge in Manhattan has ruled it's okay to use blue language around men and women in blue. The judge dismissed all charges against a man accused of cursing at a police officer who was about to arrest him. Read all about it in this morning's Daily News.
21 degrees and 517 right now, and it's time for our CBS Market Watch report this morning. It is the first trading day of the new year, and stock investors hoping that 2001 will be better than last year. The year 2000 ended with the NASDAQ suffering its worst one-year loss ever, and the Dow Jones with its first annual loss since 1990. Overseas, Japan's Nikkei exchange closed for the New Year's holiday. Other Asian stock markets were mixed. In Europe, where trading's underway, London's FTSE, the Paris CAC, and the DAX in Frankfurt all lower. Rene San Miguel will be here in the next half hour. He'll have a full CBS Market Watch report for you then.
Time now, 5:18. Straight ahead, are you looking for tickets to Sunday's big playoff game between the Giants and the Eagles? We will tell you where you can score them.
Be right back.
The CBS2 Information Network is a group of partners.
CBS 2's Ernie Anastos.
People who are interested in hard news stories, entertainment, health, money, whatever it happens to be, that is their beat. They specialize in that, and they bring expertise and resources that nobody else has. What's great about this is that viewers don't have to go searching, because we've brought all the sources together.
Ernie Anastos, weeknights 6 and 11 on the CBS 2 Information Network.
Nobody has our sources.
Tuesday on Martha Stewart Living.
Today our show is all about Indian cultural and culinary traditions.
Take a walking tour of New York's Little India. Then make a delicious stuffed bluefish.
This afternoon at 3 on CBS 2. Next time you're out surfing the World Wide Web,
Lederhosen.com.
come back home to a site with information you can actually use. CBSNewYork.com. Part of staying connected and all part of the new CBS 2 Information Network.
I think he broke his arm. Do you have insurance?
Millions of children suffer from this problem. No health insurance. Fortunately, there's help. Now, free or low-cost health insurance is available even for children whose parents work. You just have to enroll. Call 1-877-KIDS-NOW.
Before.
It looks like our first potentially major storm.
During.
Can you say shutdown?
The roads are extremely dangerous.
Please be very, very careful.
About 11.5 inches on the ground.
And after the holiday storm.
Times Square is looking pretty good.
Nobody brought you more coverage than the CBS 2 Information Network.
The CBS 2 meteorologists were right on target.
So be prepared when the next storm hits with David Rogers and the entire CBS 2 news team. Everything you need to get through the storm. The CBS 2 Information Network.
Dusting off a keepsake that takes us back into our nation's history. The city of Detroit kicked off its year-long 300th anniversary celebration yesterday by opening a 100-year-old time capsule. Mayor Dennis Archer read it from a letter in that box written 100 years ago by the mayor of Detroit then. The letter describes advances in communications such as the telegraph and marveling over improvements in transportation. Trains that could go from Detroit all the way to New York in less than 20 hours.
Wow. They all
Traffic and weather on the 2s.
Time now is 5:22. Time to check traffic and weather on the 2s. Let's go ahead and check in with Carrie Lee. Hi, Carrie.
Hey, Carrie.
Hey, Lisa. Hey, Michael. Well, you know what? The traffic and weather isn't so combined as it was the last few days. They're definitely working on cleanup, and that's going to be our biggest problem through the next couple of days, traffic-wise. It will inhibit moving around, definitely, in the city. Right now, though, things are moving along all right. We've got a pretty good start to our morning rush hour. Here's what I've got for you. That is the BQE moving down there. We've got the Brooklyn Bridge and the Manhattan Bridge, and as you can see, some volume, but it's really not really bad at all. And the New Jersey Turnpike, as you can see by interchange 14, traffic's moving along just fine. No big backups to cause you any problems there. A couple of troubles, though, in Brooklyn, Bay Ridge Parkway at 12th. Ongoing accident investigation going to last through the rush hour, going to cause some delays. Emily Francis is going to be there throughout the morning. She'll give you more details on that. Also, the Gowanus on the inbound side, HOV lane is closed due to snow removal. That'll go on through the rush hour as well. Mass transit is on schedule. Alternate side rules have been suspended. That's due to snow cleanup. With traffic and weather every 10 minutes on the 2s, Tony Pan has your forecast.
Carrie, thanks. Good morning, everyone. A cold but quiet start for us on this Tuesday morning. Wide range in temperatures, to say the least. 21 degrees in the city, low to mid-20s on from the city on south. But you get into the northern and western suburbs where the skies are a little clearer. It's way colder. 4 below zero right now in Poughkeepsie. That's not the wind chill. The actual temperature, it's 7 in Andover. At least the weather maps are quiet. High pressure and control with just a few snow showers up in the Great Lakes. So the forecast for today, mixture of clouds and sunshine. Should be a pretty nice day once we get beyond the very cold start. The high temperature near 30 degrees. 5-day forecast. Next few days, nothing to talk about. 35 tomorrow. There could be a few snow flurries in the morning on Thursday, then again maybe late in the day on Friday. But we're looking forward to the beginning of the weekend. I think we're going to hit 40 for the first time in about 2 weeks.
Yes.
Listen to what we're saying, guys. 40 degrees, and we're all pumped up. Like
everything's relative. You know what I'm saying?
It is that. Does not make for an excuse to break out that
That's true.
speedo.
You're right.
You know that.
Please.
There's never an excuse
right now.
for that.
There isn't. Time now for sports. 5,000 tickets for Sunday's Giants-Eagles playoff game go on sale today, but don't show up at the stadium. You can only buy them through Ticketmaster. Now for more on the big game and the rest of the day in sports yesterday is Gary Apple.
The Giants 5.5-point favorites to beat Philadelphia on Sunday at the Meadowlands. The big question is here this morning, can they beat Philly for the 9th consecutive time? The Eagles haven't beaten the Giants since December 1st of '96. It was a cold, rainy day at the vet. Dave Brown was bad, and the Giants defense wasn't much better as Philly won that game 24-0. Since then, it's been total Giants domination. They've won 8 straight by a total of 93 points. It's a stat the Giants aren't putting much stock in. Here's quarterback Kerry Collins.
You know, people are going to say what they want to say and, you know, talk about the record we have against them and all that kind of stuff. You can throw that out the window. They're a much better football team than we've seen them. We'd be kidding ourselves to think that just because, you know, we've had success against them in the past that we're going to come out and beat them this time.
All right, college ball and the mockery that is the bowl season continued yesterday. Washington beat Purdue at the Rose Bowl 34-24. The Huskies finished with just 1 loss. They beat Miami along the way, and so the question is, if Oklahoma loses in the Orange Bowl, doesn't Washington deserve the national title as much as anybody? Of course, it's all a moot point because it's a mythical national champion anyway. Third quarter, Purdue down 7, but not for long. Drew Brees, 24 yards to Vinny, don't call me Kiefer Sutherland. It was tied at 17, but Washington got 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to win it. This is Willie Hurst in from 8 yards, and say goodnight. The Huskies win it by 10. And at the Fiesta Bowl, Oregon State destroyed Notre Dame. That's it. Big Apple Sports.
New Year's Day meant time for a group of hearty souls to continue a very old tradition. The first of every year. It's just a day at the beach for the Polar Bear Club. Those crazy guys and our courageous CBS 2 reporter Amy Stone joined them to put the ice in her slice of life.
It's as traditional as nursing a hangover or watching the Rose Bowl parade on New Year's Day, the 98th annual Polar Bear Plunge into the Atlantic.
What do people say when you tell them you do this?
That we're crazy.
You're mad?
Crazy.
What would make a person do such a thing?
It feels great. It feels great, and then you don't feel guilty next morning.
So this is a family tradition.
Oh, yeah, my grandfather, when he was doing 1934, he was in the Eskimo Club.
Something in the genes? What's with you people?
It's healthy. My grandfather's 90 years old. He still works, drives a car.
This will be our first year to go in. What made you decide to take the plunge?
Just because we were sorry we didn't do it last year. We wish we did.
But I'm not wearing any waterproof mascara. Otherwise, I'd go in.
Warming up afterwards is lots of fun.
I bet. Well, my New Year's resolution is to be more adventurous.
You just have to do it.
Has anybody died from doing this? Pneumonia?
Not at all. We get a few, but no deaths.
You at least have a little sweater on.
No, no sweater, nothing. Nothing.
That's not a sweater?
The colder the better.
First timer, tell me what I should do.
You gotta get naked.
A bathing suit and sarong will have to do. How far do I have to go in?
The polar bear rules say you have to go in up to your neck. You don't have to walk in up to your neck. You can go up to your waist and done.
After a little encouragement from my fellow penguins.
Go, Amy! Go, Amy!
So what's the technique here?
So you rip off your clothes, grab somebody's hand, and just run right in.
Here's my jacket.
Polar bear clothes.
An official member. Or so I thought.
To be an official member of the Polar Bear Club, you have to come down and swim 12 times in the season, which is December, January, and February.
So I settled for a certificate.
Outstanding achievement by knowing that you swam with the club on the first day of 2001. The water temperature was 35 degrees, and we're glad you made it down.
Thanks.
All right?
I'd like to say it was a lot of fun, but
it is a lot
I
of
still
fun.
can't feel my toes.
Oh, you got 10 of them. You'll be okay.
Give me my certificate.
Okay.
Amy Stone, CBS 2.
Now she's at home nursing a cold.
Yeah, would you do that?
Oh, no.
Absolutely
Oh,
not.
no.
I don't see the point in
I
doing
put my
it.
big toe in it. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm not up for that.
No.
Braver souls than myself. 528. Still to come, the story behind that attack on Archbishop Edward Egan, right in the middle of Mass. We're going to have the latest developments.
Plus, we're live at the scene of an accident in Brooklyn that killed 4 people this morning.
You're watching the CBS 2 Information Network.
Need extra cash? Don't charge it on your credit cards. Get a second mortgage with no closing costs from Ditech.com. With a second mortgage, you can consolidate all your existing high-interest debts, get the cash you need for any purpose, and end up with one lower monthly payment. A second mortgage with no closing costs is smart money from Ditech.com. Log on now for fast online approval or call us at 1-800-71-FIXED.
Would you like to get more health coverage out of Medicare? Then write down this toll-free number for your free booklet, Getting More for Your Medicare Dollar. It shows you how easy it is to get more health coverage with Elder Plan. As you know, traditional Medicare only covers part of your bills. Supplemental plans cover more, but they're very expensive. However, when you choose Elder Plan as your health plan, you get 100% hospitalization, doctor coverage, generic prescriptions with no yearly limits, home nursing care, plus coverage for eyeglasses, hearing aids, and dentures. And this coverage costs you no extra money because Medicare pays Elder Plan a monthly amount to provide your health care. Read about Elder Plan with no cost or obligation. Call for your free copy of Getting More for Your Medicare Dollar. Get drug coverage, 100% hospitalization, and more by calling Elder Plan. 877-510-2632.
When is a beard more than just a beard? When it's yours. It's your personality. It's who you are. That's why Wahl created the new Groomsman Revolution, the only beard and mustache trimmer with a rotating head, giving you the comfort and accuracy to keep you looking sharp. The new Groomsman Revolution from Wahl, for guys who love their beards.
You're watching the CBS 2 Information Network.
Now, live from Fifth Avenue, this is the news this morning.
Good morning and welcome, everybody. I'm Lisa Hill.
I'm Michael Pomeranz. It's 5:31 and 21 degrees out right now. Should go up to 30 today.
We're going to check traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 2s.
First, though, we'll look at your top stories.
More details are emerging about this man. He's accused of trying to handcuff himself to Archbishop Edward Egan during Mass at St. Patrick's Cathedral. Police say the suspect, 38-year-old Timothy Byrne, has a history of mental illness and a grudge against the Catholic Church.
In Brooklyn this morning, 4 people were killed in an accident at Bay Ridge Parkway and 12th Avenue in Dyker Heights. Happened just before 4 o'clock this morning. No word on what exactly caused that crash, but we are live with further details.
More than 50 Israelis are hurt in a car bomb attack on the eve of a new attempt to get peace talks back on track. President Clinton will meet with Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat at the White House today, but Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak says the latest violence shows Arafat is not serious about peace.
A man has been charged with New York City's second homicide of 2001. 22-year-old woman who was 9 months pregnant was found shot to death yesterday morning in the Bronx. Her unborn child also died. Police have arrested Jeffrey Freeman. He's charged with second-degree murder.
The man who called himself .com guy celebrated New Year's Day by leaving his house for the first time in a year. The guy, whose real name is Mitch Maddox, wanted to prove that he could survive with just a computer and a credit card. 20 cameras and a website allowed surfers to follow his every move, and on his first day outside, what did he do? Well, there he is. He just asked his girlfriend to marry him.
Traffic and weather on the twos.
Dedicated woman. What do you?
To wait.
To stay in the house with a credit card. You can order anything you want.
You can. I did over Christmas.
.com girl.
Girl, yeah.
Hey, Carrie.
Hey.
How's traffic?
Oh, well, traffic's all right out there. You know, our biggest problem, of course, the beginning of this week is definitely going to be the snow removal. It's going to cause a lot of big slowdowns, a lot of delays, just because there's still a lot of ice on the side of the roads. But for the most part, no big problems yet. Here's what I'd like to show you. That's what we've got. BQE there, Brooklyn Bridge, as you can see, got some volume, but it's really not too bad. Also, 495 headed into the Lincoln Tunnel there. A little bit of volume, but you should be able to get through without too many problems. I'm sure they have more than 2 toll lanes open at this point. Staten Island Expressway also in very good shape. Keep in mind, inbound Gowanus HOV lane is closed due to snow removal through the morning rush hour. And mass transit at this point is on time. Alternate side rules, though, have been suspended due to snow removal. Traffic and weather every 10 minutes on the twos. Jim's in the chopper above the Verrazano Bridge. I bet you're going to tell me about that snow removal, Jim.
Yeah, and Carrie, for the most part, most of our roadways are open for what we've seen from the air, although here and there you will find some lanes that are knocked out with a little bit of snow or sand left over. One spot where you won't find a problem is the Verrazano Bridge. Everything right now is looking good. Getting over into Brooklyn, as you mentioned, we've got those problems on Bay Ridge Parkway. However, they shouldn't be affecting too many travelers getting up the Gowanus Expressway this morning. Staten Island Expressway, like you showed us just a moment ago with your camera, everything through there looking good. Let's go over to Tony Penn now to check in our forecast. Good morning, Tony.
Jim, thanks. Good morning, everyone. A quiet weather morning for us. Just very cold again. 21 degrees right now in Central Park with a north wind at 5. You say that's not too bad. We have a little cloud cover keeping it warm here in the city. Look what's going on up north. It's 4 below 0 right now in Poughkeepsie. That's not the wind chill. That's the actual temperature. It's 7 in Andover. So if you're watching north and west of the city, be prepared for big-time cold this morning. A little system passing off to our south, creating some cloud cover. Other than that, we should wind up with some dry weather and some sunshine eventually later on this morning. So the forecast will just say a mixture of clouds and sun with high temperatures in the upper 20s to around 30 degrees. It'll stay in the low 20s way off to the north. We'll check the 5-day forecast in just a few minutes. Has a nice warm-up involved as we head towards next weekend. Stay tuned. Now over to Michael.
All right, Tony, thank you. It's 5:35, and our top story this morning, an accident in Brooklyn. 4 people are dead after a collision involving a car and a truck in Diker Heights. CBS 2 reporter Emily Francis live at the scene. She has the story. Emily, good morning.
Good morning, Michael. We have been getting more information about this tragic collision. We spoke to a traffic safety officer from the local 68th precinct here in Diker Heights, and what she told us is that the driver of this front-end loader sanitation truck was in the middle of Bay Ridge Parkway in the process of scooping up snow to make room for more cars to be able to pass here and to be able to park. Apparently, the driver of this Dodge Intrepid, and there were 4 occupants, was going down, Alex, if you could come over here, was driving down Bay Ridge Parkway across 12th Avenue when it smashed into the sanitation truck. It resulted in an explosion, and that is what killed the 4 people inside. Now, the official that we spoke to told us that all indications at this point point to the fact that the driver was most likely speeding. In fact, there aren't any skid marks or any indication at all that the driver tried to brake.
If there's snow on the ground, there should be a snow alert. I mean, the drivers should be aware that even though most of the streets are plowed, it's still a very dangerous situation because as the snow melts, the temperature at night drops.
Now, again, that officer continued to tell us that she does believe that speeding was a factor, but ice was a factor to the extent that it seems that the driver wasn't even trying to take any precautions, given that there is black ice on this road. We have walked on it because it is cold out here. It looks like asphalt, but it is very, very slick, and there is black ice. So that's a reminder to everybody, if you do need to drive very slowly. At this point, we do not have the ID of the 4 people inside the car, but we do know that the driver of the truck is okay. He is at a local hospital. We're told that he is in shock, but that he is expected to make it. Reporting live from Dyker Heights, I'm Emily Francis, CBS 2.
Okay, Emily. A Hoboken man who reportedly had a grudge against the Catholic Church is charged this morning with trying to handcuff himself to Archbishop Edward Egan during Mass. 38-year-old Timothy Byrne was arrested yesterday at St. Patrick's Cathedral. Police say Byrne was online to receive communion from the Archbishop when he suddenly jumped from the line and tried to slip a handcuff around Egan's wrist. An off-duty police officer and some church ushers wrestled Byrne to the ground, and as you might expect, parishioners were outraged.
Why would anyone do it? Defies logic.
The next thing is going to be metal detectors in churches. This is insane. I mean, I can't even feel safe in church now anymore.
Published reports this morning say Byrne was sent to a mental hospital in 1999 after he made threats against President Clinton. The reports also say he's also filed several lawsuits in the past claiming the Catholic Church was deceiving the public with its teachings.
New statistics show New York City's murder rate is on the rise, and CBS 2 reporter Annika Pergament has a look at these latest crime figures.
You just send them out for milk, and which so that it was like getting way too late for like just a trip to a 24-hour store.
Less than 2 hours into the new year, there was already a homicide, a teenager. It happened here at Brighton 7th Street in Brighton Beach. Police say they responded to a call to find a 17-year-old, Andres Perez, stabbed multiple times. He died shortly afterward at the hospital. Alejandro Brazin's husband, Juan Mora, was also involved in the stabbing. He is now listed in critical condition.
Was he able to talk to you at all or tell anybody what happened?
Not really. He was in a lot of pain.
His brother-in-law says he never returned from that trip to the store. He was found stabbed outside.
They ganged up on him.
Police are hoping to interview Mora because at this point they have no motive and no suspects.
The murder here in Brighton Beach happened only hours after police had finished tallying their crime numbers from last year. And they showed that for the second straight year, the murder rate has slightly gone up.
Last year, 671 people were murdered in New York City, a fraction more than in 1999, which had 667 homicides, and about 6% more than 1998, when there were 629 murders, a number that hadn't been seen since the 1960s. Still, the number of homicides in the city in any of the last 3 years is a fraction of the more than 2,000 murders only a decade ago. Mayor Giuliani blames a spike in the beginning of last year, which he says is now under control.
The number of homicides was up about 15 or 20% at mid-year. End result is it turns out to be up by about 1%, 0.5%. So I'd have to say they did a very good job.
While murders did increase, the mayor was quick to point out that for the 7th straight year, overall crime fell in the year 2000.
Crime is down in New York City by 5 to 6%, and in the rest of the country, crime is level. In other words, they have no decline in crime. So I think they're doing an absolutely great job.
Annika Pergament, CBS 2.
The increase in the murder rate is largely due to a spike in homicides in the Bronx. Those numbers prompted a shakeup there. Police Commissioner Bernard Carrick replaced the Bronx Borough Commander in an effort to bring those crime numbers down.
Time now is 20 minutes before 6. There is much more straight ahead, including the city may be losing ground in its war on sex shops around town.
And we'll help you get around town this morning with the latest information for road warriors. Traffic and weather coming up on the 2s. Next.
The world is yours. Speak the foreign language you've always wanted to speak. The Language Immersion Institute of SUNY New Paltz works. Choose from 20 different languages. Customized programs. Weekends in New York City. Overseas learning. The Language Immersion Institute. Call 845-257-3500. The Language Immersion Institute of SUNY New Paltz. Give us a few weekends, and we'll give you the world.
Since 1990, Dr. Della Russo has performed over 20,000 laser vision corrections. Since introducing his flying spot laser by LADAR Vision, he has performed more LADAR Vision procedures than any surgeon in the nation. And Dr. Della Russo personally performs each and every procedure in both his New York and New Jersey locations. Experience, technology, personal care. Dr. Della Russo, 212-722-9200.
Ever since you were a kid, you believed that life is better with a boat.
Yes.
That's why you'll want to attend the all-new 91st New York National Boat Show. 9 days to save big on thousands of boats. First-time boaters get advice at the Discover Boating Center and see the 2001 Lincoln Navigator, the most luxurious way to tow your new boat. The New York National Boat Show, January 6th through 14th at the Javits Center. Because life is better with a boat.
It's Hollywood Square's Survivor Week. All the rats consumed this week will be catered by Spago. Watch Jenna Lewis, Jervis Peterson, Sue Hawk, and Rich Hatch next Hollywood Squares.
Tonight at 7:30 on CBS 2. Next time you're out surfing the World Wide Web,
Lederhosen.com.
come back home to a site with information you can actually use. CBSNewYork.com. Part of staying connected and all part of the new CBS 2 Information Network. Traffic and weather on the 2s.
It's 5:42. Let's go back over to Carrie, see how traffic's shaping up this morning. Carrie?
Well, Michael, right now, things look really good. We don't have any major problems or backups. This is what we would expect after a long holiday weekend and a huge snowstorm. People are probably a little timid going out on the roadways right now. Really not too bad for us. Let's take a quick look. That's what I've got for you. 495 headed into the Lincoln Tunnel. Barely any backups, which is really quite nice. Holland and George Washington Bridge look good, too. In the East River crossings, we don't have any problems or delays as well. New Jersey Turnpike over by Interchange 14. As you can see, traffic's moving along just fine. No big backups there, but we do have some problems westbound Route 80 in New Jersey just before exit 66. There's an accident in the express lanes. That needs to be cleared out of the way, but other than that, traffic's getting around it pretty good at this point. Mass transit is on time. Alternate side rules, though, have been suspended. That's due to snow removal, and with traffic and weather every 10 minutes on the 2s. Jim's in the chopper above the Gowanus. Jim, tell us what's going on.
Well, Carrie, it's the new year, but the old delay here on the Gowanus Expressway. Inbound delays already from the Prospect Expressway up onto the northbound side of the BQE. Pretty much the standard delay in getting through this area. However, as we take a look over by the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, some very lonely toll collectors this morning. No delay here at the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel this morning. Let's go over to Tony Penn now to check on our weather. Good morning, Tony.
Jim, thanks. Good morning, everyone. The cold is the story this morning. We got the snow over the weekend. The weather should be pretty quiet in that department. It's just chilly. 21 at Central Park, but look what's happening in the northern suburbs. Skies are clear up here, and with snow on the ground, it's really dropped off. It's 4 below right now in Poughkeepsie. That's not the wind chill, that's the actual temperature, 7 degrees in Andover. So the northern suburbs freezing a little bit. A little system moving off to our south, creating some cloud cover this morning. Other than that, it should be just fine. Mixture of clouds and sunshine. The high temperature will be in the upper 20s to around 30 degrees. It'll stay in the low 20s to our north. The 5-day forecast, dry tomorrow again with a high near 35. Maybe some snow flurries Thursday and Friday. That's certainly not a big deal. We are looking forward to the beginning of the weekend. Well, we'll hit 40 degrees first time since December the 19th. Long time.
It was a long time ago.
But it is something to look forward to over the weekend, weather-wise anyhow.
And you're not worried about the flurries at all?
Nah, it's no big deal.
All righty, we heard it here first.
Okay.
For the past few years, we've heard a lot about Mayor Giuliani's showdown with the sex shops, but now that the smoke is cleared, you may be surprised how many shops were actually shut down. CBS 2 reporter Amy Nuzzo has this story.
Mayor Giuliani's widely publicized crackdown against New York City sex shops has been an uphill battle, fraught with constitutional questions and legal victories for the adult entertainment businesses. The New York Times reports that since the mayor began enforcing a 1995 zoning law aimed at ousting sex shops and topless bars from Manhattan and other boroughs, the number of such businesses has nearly held steady. From 144 in 1998, when the aggressive crackdown began, down to 142 today, a decrease of only 2.
Has had at least some beneficial effect in that the nature of these shops has changed dramatically.
But instead of chasing away peddlers of erotica, the move has forced many of them to reconfigure and to add other non-explicit types of inventory. Dancers at the VIP Club in Chelsea wore bikini tops while the city tried to shut the place down. But after winning a battle in court, the club is back to serving up topless dances, now along with a full menu of sushi and pricey entrees.
It's been worthwhile in that 42nd Street has been cleaned up.
But Giuliani isn't about to put the issue on the back burner. He plans to introduce new legislation early this year that would further tighten restrictions on adult bars and sex shops.
People attend sex clubs, topless joints, because that's what they want to do. And as far as I know, we've lived in this neighborhood for years and years. As far as I know, they've never caused a problem, at least nothing serious.
Amy Nuzzo, CBS 2.
Time right now is 5:46. Coming up, Firestone's tire troubles may not be over just yet. We're going to have details of a possible new recall.
Plus, markets open this morning with hopes for a more prosperous new year for investors. CBS Market Watch is next.
I grew up in a large family, an ethnic family. Everybody was a storyteller.
CBS 2's Ernie Anastos.
I've been on the air over 20 years. When I walk down the street and people say, Ernie, I grew up with you. I don't want to make you feel old, but I grew up with you. My kids are now watching you on television. That's a great feeling. That's a sense of trust. And I'm hoping that those viewers will say, hey, Ernie, nice to see you back on CBS 2.
Ernie Anastos, weeknights 6 and 11 on the CBS 2 Information Network.
If the value of your home has risen during the last couple of years, now may be a great time to refinance and cash out some of your equity. Just log on to ditech.com or call us at 1-800-71-FIXED. Today's low fixed rate is only 7.125%, APR 7.295% with 0 points. And there are no upfront fees. It's smart money from ditech.com. Apply online or call us now at 1-800-71-FIXED.
Don't ever take that bite before you take all-natural Fat Trapper. Fat Trapper's main ingredient has been shown to trap some of the fat in the foods you love. Fat Trapper and exercise in a bottle. The revolutionary way to help you lose weight. Dieting or exercise is required before you eat another bite. Over 1 million people have already discovered the Informa system.
Buy it now at GNC, Duane Reade, and Pathmark.
Charlie Sheen's weight loss.
And then I lost close to 30.
We'll show you the food that helped him shed the pounds. Then, Kate Capshaw's controversial new movie with Elle McPherson and stars in Aspen next ET.
Tonight at 7 on CBS 2.
Not all health news is a matter of life and death. Then again, if the story touches your family, why not get it from the source that doctors use? HealthWatch.com medical reports on CBS 2 News, part of the CBS 2 Information Network.
And now, from CBS 2, this morning's top stories.
4 people died in a car wreck this morning in Brooklyn. All of the victims were in a car that collided with a truck at Bay Ridge Parkway at 12th Avenue and Dyker Heights. No word on what caused that accident. The man who attacked Archbishop Edward Egan reportedly has had a long history of legal disputes with churches. Police say Timothy Byrne of Hoboken tried to handcuff the Archbishop during New Year's Day Mass. Reports say that Byrne was carrying a backpack filled with federal lawsuits in which he claimed the Catholic Church was fooling the public about the existence of Jesus Christ. And there are new demands for Firestone to recall more of its tires. Consumer watchdog group Public Citizen wants a recall of all Firestone Wilderness tires, not just the 15-inch models that have already been recalled.
Time now is fast approaching 5:50. Time to find out how the markets are doing. Here's Renee San Miguel.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have my own theory as to why .com guy finally left his house. He finally got the word as to what happened to the NASDAQ last year. He saw his .com portfolio. That's exactly right. Good morning, everybody. The market kicks off the first trading day of the new year with investors hoping that 2001 will be kinder to their portfolios than Y2K was. Unfortunately, from the look of things in the futures trading, we're headed for a weaker open on Wall Street today. Stocks ended last year with losses as a late burst of tax-related selling erased hopes of an upbeat end to a downbeat year. Among stocks to watch, Tyson wins the fight against Smith Foods. Tyson Foods is buying beef and pork giant IBP for $3.2 billion in cash and stock. Tyson will also assume debt of $1.5 billion in the transaction. That deal still subject to regulatory and shareholder approval. Chase Manhattan and J.P. Morgan will trade under one company today. The new name, J.P. Morgan Chase & Company, will trade under the ticker JPM. Also, J.P. Morgan Chase will succeed J.P. Morgan as a component stock of the Dow Industrials. And the world's biggest computer chip maker, Intel, wants to bring music to your ears with a portable digital music player called the Pocket Concert. The slick-looking device is about the size of a deck of cards. It'll be introduced at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas this weekend, and you'll be able to buy it in February. The Intel Pocket Concert MP3 audio player features 128 megabytes of flash memory. Now, what does that mean? That means you will be able to hold up to 4 hours of downloaded music in it. For more, you can head to cbs.marketwatch.com or AOL at keyword MarketWatch. Oh boy, one more toy I have to go out and buy now.
It gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
Exactly. Renee, thanks.
Thank you.
Time right now is 5:51. Straight ahead, the Giants are gearing up for their big ball game. They're going to play the Eagles this weekend. Sports next.
Is your asthma really under control?
Yeah. But sometimes I wheeze.
Ever wake up short of breath?
I do.
Use your fast-acting inhaler more than twice a week.
I use mine every day.
If that's what you call control, ask your doctor if prescription Flovent is right for you. Flovent twice a day helps control the inflammation that can cause asthma symptoms in the first place and helps improve lung function. Flovent won't replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden attacks. People switching from an oral steroid like prednisone to Flovent, an inhaled steroid, need to be especially careful. While adjusting to the switch, your body is not as able to heal after surgery, infection, or serious injury. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve.
Now this is control.
Flovent, helping you to find asthma control.
Where do you get your information?
From the newspaper?
From your TV.
How about the internet?
Imagine one place to get the best of all of them in every newscast. The CBS-2 Information Network. With partners like HealthWatch, Hollywood.com, CBS News, and many others. CBS-2 is the only place where the most informed sources in New York and the world come together in every newscast. The sources, the expertise, only on the CBS-2 Information Network.
Just having this on your driver's license doesn't make you an organ donor. Telling your family does. Make sure they know your wishes or it won't happen. Talk to your family about donating life.
It's Hollywood Square's Survivor Week.
All the rats consumed this week will be catered by Spago.
Watch Jenna Lewis, Jervis Peterson, Sue Hawk, and Rich Hatch next Hollywood Squares.
Tonight at 7:30 on CBS-2. Hey, you may just play the air guitar, but that doesn't mean you don't know all the right licks. CBS-2 music reports from VH1. At least you'll feel like you're still part of the scene, and all part of the new CBS-2 Information Network.
Time now, 5:53. Time to check traffic and weather on the 2s or 3s. Let's start with Carrie Lee. Kind of missed the 5:52 mark there.
It's in that vicinity, right?
Yeah, right.
In range.
Give or take a minute or two.
Like a good field goal kicker. We just try to get in range.
Right.
Yeah, in range. It's always good to do that. Listen, traffic, not a big problem yet. We are still dealing with a lot of cleanup out there with the snow, and the city streets are just going to be difficult to maneuver over the next couple of days until they get that all straightened out. But in the meantime, other roadways look pretty good, like this one. Take a look. Staten Island Expressway. Traffic's moving along just fine. Don't have any big backups or delays there, but within a half an hour, I can guarantee you're going to have something to contend with. New Jersey Turnpike by Interchange 14 looks pretty good for you as well. No big problems in the area either, and things are in pretty good shape over at the airports. Traffic's, or I should say air traffic, is finally starting to ease out quite a bit for you. Now, mass transit is on time. Alternate side rules have been suspended until they get all the snow cleaned up. Traffic and weather every 10 minutes on the 2s. Jim's in the chopper got a problem on Route 80 in Bogota. Jim?
Yeah, and Carrie, that accident was just cleared a few minutes ago. Those flares that you see in the center of your screen are all that remain of the westbound accident approaching exit 66. Route 80, though, getting through all of Bergen County. A great ride this morning. That's the eastbound traffic you see coming towards you. No problems between the Garden State Parkway and the merge with Route 95. Let's go over to Tony Penn now to check on our weather. Tony.
Thanks, Jim. Good morning, everyone. The weather's pretty quiet, just cold, especially in the northern suburbs. The temperatures are in the low 20s from the city on south and east, but it's 4 below zero right now in Poughkeepsie. The skies are clear up north, and then we have a little snow on the ground. That's a good combination for some cold temperatures. High pressure and control on the weather maps. A few snow flurries up in the Great Lakes. Nothing in store for us here at home. A mixture of clouds and sunshine expected as we head into the afternoon. The high temperature near 30 in the city. It'll stay in the low 20s in our northern suburbs. The 5-day forecast. Another dry day tomorrow. A little warmer, up to 35. Could be a few snow flurries Thursday and Friday. And then we look forward to the beginning of the weekend. Should be a touch warmer with a high temperature near 40 degrees. And those snow flurries aren't going to amount to anything on Thursday and Friday. Even if we get another inch. What's another inch on top of 20?
On top of the frozen street in front of my house.
No big deal.
Yeah. Thank you, Tony.
All right. 5:55, and it is time now for sports. 5,000 tickets for Sunday's Giants-Eagle playoff game go on sale today, but don't show up at the stadium. You can only buy them through Ticketmaster. Now for more on the big game and some other sports news, here's Gary Apple.
The Giants 5.5-point favorites to beat Philadelphia on Sunday at the Meadowlands. The big question is here this morning, can they beat Philly for the 9th consecutive time? The Eagles haven't beaten the Giants since December 1st of '96. It was a cold, rainy day at the vet. Dave Brown was bad, and the Giants defense wasn't much better as Philly won that game 24-0. Since then, it's been total Giants domination. They've won 8 straight by a total of 93 points. It's a stat the Giants aren't putting much stock in. Here's quarterback Kerry Collins.
You know, people are going to say what they want to say and, you know, talk about the record we have against them and all that kind of stuff. You can throw that out the window. They're a much better football team than we've seen them. We'd be kidding ourselves to think that just because, you know, we've had success against them in the past that we're going to come out and beat them this time.
All right, college ball and the mockery that is the bowl season continued yesterday. Washington beat Purdue at the Rose Bowl 34-24. The Huskies finished with just one loss. They beat Miami along the way. And so the question is, if Oklahoma loses in the Orange Bowl, doesn't Washington deserve the national title as much as anybody? Of course, it's all a moot point because it's a mythical national champion anyway. Third quarter, Purdue down 7, but not for long. Drew Brees, 24 yards to Vinny. Don't call me keeper Sutherland. It was tied at 17, but Washington got 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to win it. This is Willie Hurst in from 8 yards. And say goodnight. The Huskies win it by 10. And at the Fiesta Bowl, Oregon State destroyed Notre Dame. That's it. Big Apple Sports.
Well, just moments into the new year, and New York City welcomed its newest resident, the first baby of 2001. This is Peter Robinson Ashfield. Quite a stately name there. He was born at the stroke of midnight at the Downstate Medical Center in East Flatbush to proud parents Marika Robinson and Peter Ashfield. Now, he's not only the first baby of the year, a lot of people would argue he's the first New York baby of the true new millennium. And parents are thrilled.
I was ecstatic. But then I thought there was going to be somebody else probably did it before me anyway. So it didn't faze me much until this morning. And everybody else started calling.
And while Peter will always be #1 in his parents' eyes, he'll also have the documentation to back it, having been born on 01/01/01. Oh, how neat.
Oh, cute. And the mother looks great.
Yeah, like she didn't.
Look at these.
I look so good.
It's 5:58.
We'll be right back.
Closed captioning for CBS-2, provided by Toyota. Real values every day.
If you're watching Brett Favre on an ordinary television, you're missing a lot of action. Get a Mitsubishi widescreen HD TV with a picture so real, so clear, you won't miss a thing. Get a Mitsubishi HD TV and pay absolutely nothing for 12 months.
Visit your local Mitsubishi dealer today.
Today, the world became a better place for Liz and Steve Johnson. They paid off credit cards and strengthened their entire financial outlook by calling 1-800-CHAMPION. Because only Champions Pay Down Your Debt program for homeowners comes with the Possibilities Profile, a plan that showed them options for saving more money, paying off their home sooner, funding retirement. The Possibilities Profile gave them a look into their financial future, and it's reason to celebrate.
Shouldn't you know all your possibilities? When your bank says no, Champion says yes.
Hey, good morning.
Hi. Here we go.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, wait, I had your cable bill.
Tired of big cable bills? Call your Dish Network vendor now and receive a free Dish Network system, free installation, and 3 months of premium channels free. Offer good until December 31st.
Clearcom, 732-560-5904. In northern New Jersey, call 1-800-TECHNO-STORES. NYSS Digital, toll-free 866-285-8818.
The CBS-2 Information Network is a group of partners.
CBS-2's Ernie Anastos.
People who are interested in hard news stories, entertainment, health, money, whatever it happens to be, that is their beat. They specialize in that, and they bring expertise and resources that nobody else has. What's great about this is that viewers don't have to go searching, because we've brought all the sources together.
Ernie Anastos, weeknights 6 and 11 on the CBS-2 Information Network.
Nobody has our sources.
You're watching the CBS-2 Information Network.
Now, live from Fifth Avenue, this is the news this morning.
Welcome, everybody, on this Tuesday, January 2nd, brand new year, 2001. I'm Lisa Hill.
I'm Michael Pomeranz. It is 6 o'clock, 21 degrees now. Should go up to 30 today.
We're going to check traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the Tube.
First, though, we'll look at the top stories at 6.
A bizarre scene at St. Patrick's Cathedral. A man with a history of mental problems is accused of trying to handcuff himself to Archbishop Edward Egan during Mass yesterday. The suspect, Timothy Byrne, was grabbed by an off-duty police officer who saw what was going on. There are also reports this morning that Byrne was once questioned after making threats against President Clinton.
A deadly car wreck in Brooklyn this morning. 4 people were killed when their car hit a truck in Diker Heights. Happened about 2 hours ago. We're live with the details.
A long night at the airport for some travelers using Spirit Air. A flight that was supposed to leave at 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon never, ever got off the ground. It was delayed twice before it was finally canceled. Passengers say Spirit Air turned a deaf ear to their complaints. The airline could not be reached for comment.
There's a cloud of pessimism over today's Mideast peace meeting between President Clinton and Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat. Chances of real progress being made were dealt a severe blow by yesterday's car bombing that left 50 Israelis hurt. Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak says Arafat has been dragging his feet.
There's increasing opposition to George W. Bush's choice for Attorney General. Several civil rights groups say they will pressure Senate Democrats to reject John Ashcroft for the job. They are opposed to his anti-abortion views. Bush's selection of New Jersey Governor Christie Whitman to head up the Environmental Protection Agency is also drawing criticism.
Mayor Giuliani has a hearty slap on the back for the city sanitation department. Crews were in overdrive all weekend. They worked all day Saturday, clearing a foot of snow from the streets. Then they removed some 3,000 pounds of confetti following the New Year's bash in Times Square. The mayor called the workers the city's first true heroes of the millennium.
Traffic and weather on the 2s.
The time now is 6:02. Let's check traffic and weather on the 2s with Carrie Lee with the traffic.
Hello, Carrie.
Well, hello, Michael and Lisa. Right now, things are in really decent shape for us. Traffic is moving along fine. Snow removal is going to be the top story traffic-wise for the next couple of days. So plan around it, because some places where you normally could park, you're not really going to be able to until they get that all straightened out. I'd like to show you what we've got right now. That is the BQE and the Brooklyn Bridge. And as you can see, definitely have some volume, but it's really not too bad for you. Belled over by Kennedy Airport, moving along okay, too. Definitely some volume out there. Now, we've got some problems in New Jersey. Southbound 1 and 9 in Newark over at Haynes Avenue got an accident in the express lanes. Also, westbound 80 just before exit 66 had an accident there. It's being cleared out of the way, but we do have some delays following because everybody thinks there's still something there. Now, at this point, mass transit's on time. Alternate side rules have been suspended. That's due to snow cleanup with the traffic and weather every 10 minutes on the 2s. Jim's in the chopper. He's above the Lincoln Tunnel. Jim, what's going on out there?
Well, Carrie, our captain this morning, Ed Baker, has us high above the Hudson River. We'll take you right outside, and already at 6:02 in the morning, we have delays building at the Lincoln Tunnel. Already about a 15 to 20 minute delay, and that's pretty heavy for this time of the morning. Holland Tunnel as an alternate, about a 5 to 10 minute delay there. Let's go over to Tony Penn now to check on our weather. Good morning, Tony.
Jim, thanks. Good morning, everyone. The weather's nice and quiet. It's just cold, as you'd expect this time of the year. 21 degrees Central Park and north wind at 5. Big time cold in the northern suburbs. Temperatures there have dropped below 0. These are not the wind chills. The actual temperature is 4 below in Poughkeepsie, 7 in Andover. We have a little cloud cover around the city and out across Long Island, and as you know, clouds tend to keep things warmer at night than they would be otherwise. Watching a little system pass off to our south. That's responsible for the cloud cover. We're not going to see any precipitation. Wind up with a dry day today. Mixture of clouds and sunshine as we head into the afternoon. The high temperature 30 in the city. It'll stay in the low 20s in our far northern suburbs. We'll check the 5-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. For now, we'll send it over to the news desk.
Tony, thank you. 4 people were killed this morning in a car accident in Diker Heights, and Emily Francis joins us now from the scene. She has more. Emily, good morning.
Good morning, Michael. Crews from EMS and from the New York City Fire Department have left the scene. The only officials who are still here are people from the Department of Sanitation and from the NYPD. They are investigating to try to find the exact cause of this accident, but here's what we know. If you take a look behind me, you can see the impact that the car made with this sanitation front-end loader. Now, we understand that the driver of the sanitation truck was in the process of removing snow to allow room for cars not only to drive on Bay Ridge Parkway, but also to park. Now, I understand that we are in VO that shows the scene. Now, what officials tell me is that the driver of the truck saw the driver of a Dodge Intrepid coming towards him, but he didn't have time to get out of the truck. Instead, he ducked, and the next thing he knew, the car smashed into him and exploded. All 4 people in that car were killed. Now, officials tell me that they do not believe that this collision was a result of the ice. In fact, it does not look at this point like that the car went out of control. In fact, the investigator we spoke to says that every indication is that the driver was speeding. You can especially tell by the force of the collision. It looked like the car almost went underneath the truck. In fact, that official who we spoke to believes that the driver didn't even try to hit his brakes.
As long as there's snow on the ground, there should be a snow alert. I mean, the drivers should be aware that even though most of the streets are plowed, it's still a very dangerous situation, because as the snow melts, the temperature at night drops, that water is going to turn to ice. So please, everybody, speed, precaution, stopping at lights, especially this time of the night, this time of the year. Like I said, as the snow melts, it's going to turn to ice. To take that extra second to stop may mean saving your life.
At this point, officials are not releasing the names of the 4 people who were in the car. We do not know if they were friends or if they were all members of one family. The driver of the truck, we're told, is in shock, but he was taken to a local hospital and he is expected to make it. Reporting live from Dyker Heights, I'm Emily Francis, CBS 2.
Okay, Emily. We are learning more about the man who accosted Archbishop Edward Egan during Mass yesterday at St. Patrick's Cathedral. According to reports, Timothy Byrne was questioned in 1999 after making threats against President Clinton. And they quote police as saying he had a long history of legal disputes with churches. Byrne reportedly was carrying a backpack filled with lawsuits claiming that Jesus Christ was a hoax. CBS 2 reporter Amy Nuzzo has more on this attack.
The attack on Archbishop Edward Egan happened during a morning mass at St. Patrick's Cathedral as parishioners were online to receive communion. When a 38-year-old man reached the front of the line, police say rather than taking communion, Timothy Byrne tried to handcuff himself to the Archbishop. Unsuccessful, the Hoboken man was subdued and arrested by an off-duty sergeant, Daniel DePrenda, who was attending Mass. Byrne allegedly had on him 2 sets of handcuffs and 2 cans of mace.
It's outrageous. This is horrible, without question. And you're telling me this, and I'm shocked.
Catholics attending Mass at St. Patrick's were outraged.
It's awful. I mean, I don't understand it at all. How could that happen? Why would anyone do it? It defies logic.
It's not the first time an intruder has disrupted the peace at St. Patrick's. In 1988, Cuban immigrant Jorge Delgado stormed naked into the Midtown Manhattan Cathedral, hoisted an iron bar, and killed a 77-year-old usher before police shot him dead. The following year, the late John Cardinal O'Connor was shouted down by demonstrators, some who chained themselves to pews, others who threw communion hosts on the floor to protest the Catholic Church's stance against condoms and abortion.
That's a horrifying desecration.
Neither Archbishop Egan nor the Archdiocese would talk to us about the bizarre incident that's left even hardened New Yorkers scratching their heads.
It only could happen in New York. The next thing is going to be metal detectors in churches. This is insane. I mean, I can't even feel safe in church now anymore.
Byrne has been charged with unlawful attempted imprisonment, obstructing a religious service, criminal possession of a weapon, harassment, and resisting arrest. For the news this morning, Amy Nuzzo, CBS 2.
Time now, 6:09. There is much more straight ahead on CBS 2. Mayor Giuliani's tough crackdown on the city's sex shops may not be so tough after all. We'll have details.
Plus, it's the first work week commute of the year. Carrie Lee with more. We check traffic and weather together for you on the 2.
You're watching the CBS 2 Information Network.
You have a feeling it's your transmission, but you're not sure. You want to ask someone, but you don't know who. At AMCO, they've been answering transmission questions for as long as they've been fixing them. That's over 35 years. What's that noise? What does that drip mean? Is it even my transmission? It's all very good questions. Call the experts at AMCO and get some very good answers. Call 1-800-GO-AMCO, AA-MCO.
So, life is disappointing. Forget it. Here, life is beautiful. The girls are beautiful. Even the orchestra is beautiful.
4 Tony Awards, 3 glorious years, 1 exclusive club. See it now. Call today for the smash Broadway production of Cabaret. Cabaret at the legendary Studio 54.
Hey, good morning.
Hi.
Here we go.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, wait, I have your cable bill.
Tired of big cable bills? Call your Dish Network vendor now and receive a free Dish Network system, free installation, and 3 months of premium channels free. Offer good until December 31st.
Satellite City, 631-471-7070. New York or international, 718-777-5555. Dish R Us, nationwide, 877-DISH-R-US.
Are you ready to see yourself as others see you? I didn't know I was so gray. Now escape that old gray look with new Just for Men. More than a hair color, it's the Rejuvenator. Just for Men shampoos away gray in 5 easy minutes and now has vitamins. It brings back a thicker, healthier look that's completely natural.
I like what I see.
Just for Men. More than a hair color, it's the Rejuvenator.
Traffic and weather on the 2s.
It's 6:12. Let's go back over to Carrie, see how commuters are making out this morning. Carrie?
Well, Michael and Lisa, so far so good. We don't have any big problems with the exception of things that have been cleaned up from earlier. Right now, let's head into the city. Here's what I could show you. Lincoln Tunnel 495 headed in there, 15-minute wait. Holland about the same. George Washington Bridge is going to be 5 or 10. That's for both decks. Now, the East River Crossing is starting to see a lot of buildup as well, but it's really not as bad as it could be. Now, the Staten Island Expressway definitely starting to see some volume in that area, but no big problems or backups there either. Now, if you happen to be in Brooklyn, Bay Ridge Parkway at 12, got an ongoing accident investigation. Emily Francis is going to be out there throughout the morning reporting on this, but it's definitely going to cause some backups through the rush hour. Mass transit at this point is on time, but alternate side rules have been suspended. That's due to snow removal. With traffic and weather every 10 minutes on the 2s. Jim's in the chopper. We've got a problem on 1 and 9 in Newark. Jim?
Yeah, Carrie, that accident you mentioned just a few moments ago at Haynes Avenue, that has been cleared out, but what we're looking at now are delays on the northbound side of routes 1 and 9 trying to get into Newark Airport due to the weather the past couple of days and the holiday weekend. We've had all these flights canceled, postponed, so you're going to find extra heavy delays getting to the airports this morning. This line of traffic wraps around all the way throughout the airport. You have to make sure you call your individual carrier as you head out to the airports. Let's go over to Tony Penn now to check on our forecast. Good morning, Tony.
Thanks, Jim. Good morning, everyone. At least the weather's nice and quiet. It's just cold. 21 in the city. Look what's happening up north. 5 below in Poughkeepsie right now. That's the actual temperature, not the wind chill. It's 3 in Andover. Let's take a look at our futurecast, see what's going to happen as we head through the rest of the week. You can watch the time frame at the top of your screen. And for the most part, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Late in the day on Wednesday and into Thursday, there's a little system coming out of the Great Lakes that may wind up giving us a few snow flurries, but that's about it. So the weather should be pretty quiet. A mixture of clouds and sunshine during the day today will make it up to 30 degrees in the city. It'll stay colder in our northern suburbs. And a quick look at the 5-day forecast. A little warmer tomorrow, maybe some snow flurries Thursday and Friday, as I mentioned. Looking forward to Saturday. Could hit 40 degrees for the first time in about 2 weeks, and then it'll help to melt a little bit of that snow off, I hope.
When are you going to start shoveling the drive?
I never shovel. I just
You call? You make
I just roll a path right through there.
He's got this big truck. He thinks he's indestructible.
Oh,
Exactly.
is that it?
We don't shovel where I come from. Just plow right through
Plow
it.
through it.
Tough man.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tony.
Mayor Giuliani's crackdown on sex shops in the city may not be what it's cracked up to be. Out of the 144 sex shops targeted, only 2 have reportedly been shut down under the mayor's tough 1998 zoning law. It limits where the clubs can be located. The mayor says the law has helped because even the sex shops that are open have toned down. A lot of them clean up their act by selling food, as well as videos that are not sexually explicit. Some people say they don't mind having the clubs in their neighborhood.
People attend sex clubs, topless joints, because that's what they want to do. And as far as I know, we've lived in this neighborhood for years and years. As far as I know, they've never caused a problem.
The mayor says he'll introduce new legislation soon that will tighten restrictions on sex shops even more.
Time right now, 6:15. Coming up, we're going to check in with our information partner, the Daily News. Tell you why Who Wants to Be a Millionaire host Regis Philbin is giving away money right from the set.
But speaking of money, we'll have the day's business news when Renee San Miguel joins us with the CBS Market Watch.
CBS Tonight, seeing what happens to kids in family court.
I didn't tell anyone I was pregnant.
Could push Judge Amy Gray over the edge.
Kids couldn't win a game if their lives depended on it.
Every day I see guys like you. One right away. All your family's going to benefit when they are completely lost.
Plus, a case so shocking.
Something happened to her at that school.
So controversial.
This man touched them inappropriately.
That even the police won't get involved.
I know a dead case when I see one.
There are children's lives at stake.
Judging Amy, CBS Tonight.
The beginning of a new year. A chance to start fresh, to set goals. A chance to make a difference in your health and the way you feel. The perfect time to make an appointment with a dentist. At 1-800-DENTIST, we know how important regular dental care is in keeping your teeth healthy. So why not stick to your New Year's resolutions and take care of yourself? It's a whole new year. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-DENTIST and we'll help you find a pre-screened dentist in your area. Call us today.
If the value of your home has risen during the last couple of years, now may be a great time to refinance and cash out some of your equity. Just log on to ditech.com or call us at 1-800-71-FIX. Today's low fixed rate is only 7.125%, APR 7.295% with 0 points. And there are no upfront fees. It's smart money from ditech.com. Apply online or call us now at 1-800-71-FIX.
The thrill is back with a vengeance. Toyotathon 01. The blockbuster event returns with great year-end values on Toyota's best. Lease a Corolla for $189 a month for 39 months, $1,664 at signing plus taxes and fees. Just $189 a month for the restyled Corolla, the world's most trusted car. Toyotathon 01. It's back at your Toyota dealer now.
CBS Market Watch is brought to you by Toyota. Real values every day.
Time now for the headlines from one of our partners in the information network, the Daily News. Bronx Representative Elliot Engel's House seat could be in jeopardy. Political experts say his seat may be the one to go when New York loses 2 seats in Congress. New York lost those seats because the new census showed a drop in the number of people living here. In an exclusive interview, jailed millionaire Abe Hirschfeld says it's not so bad behind bars. The parking lot mogul had been at Rikers since June. He was convicted of hiring a hitman to kill his longtime business partner. Hirschfeld says he's having, quote, a great time in prison. And Regis Philbin donated $500,000 to his alma mater. That money will go toward repairing the auditorium at Cardinal Hayes High School in the South Bronx. You can read all about these stories and much more in this morning's Daily News.
We're going to hear all about the world of business at time 6:18. And May San Miguel is here to tell us about the Market Watch.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Investors are hoping today to start the new trading year on better footing. Stocks ended last year with losses thanks to a late burst of tax-related selling. For the year, the Dow lost 6%, but it was the Nasdaq's worst performance ever, the tech-heavy index plunging 39% for the year. Among stocks to watch, Tyson knocks out Smith. No, it's not sports. We're talking food companies here. Tyson Foods is buying beef and pork giant IBP for $3.2 billion in cash and stock, winning a bidding war with Smith Foods. Tyson will also assume debt of $1.5 billion in the transaction. That deal still subject to regulatory and shareholder approval. Chase Manhattan and J.P. Morgan will trade under one company today. The new name, J.P. Morgan Chase & Company, and it'll trade under the ticker JPM. That kind of makes sense, after all. Also, J.P. Morgan Chase will succeed J.P. Morgan as a component stock of the Dow. Well, not content with having its chips in many of the world's computers, now Intel wants to conquer the digital music world. Intel's coming out with a portable MP3 player called the Pocket Concert. The cigarette pack-sized device will be available to buy next month. It will feature 128 megabytes of flash memory that store up to 4 hours of downloaded music. And Walmart is going global. The discount retailer reportedly plans to open its first store in Japan as early as next year. A Japanese newspaper says Walmart plans to form a subsidiary this summer in that country. For more, you can head to cbs.marketwatch.com or AOL at keyword MarketWatch. Back to you.
Say, what took Walmart so long?
Yeah. They've already conquered this country.
It's true.
Thank you, Renee. 6:19 right now. Straight ahead, after a week off, it is time to get back to work for the Giants as they gear up for their playoff matchup against the Eagles.
Rockaway Bedding wants to know, what's your bed like?
Toss and turn, not too comfortable. I can get a little cranky by the end of the day.
Tell me about your bed.
It really doesn't support my back well anymore.
I thought it was a great bed when we bought it, but it isn't.
Excuse me, ma'am. What's your bed like?
I don't think that's any of your business.
Okay. Isn't it time you went to Rockaway Bedding, where you get low prices, a free steel bed frame, free delivery of your new mattress, and free removal of your old mattress?
Rock, 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 Rockaway Bedding, Rockaway Bedding, yeah!
Hey, good morning.
Hi.
Here you go.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, wait, I have your cable bill.
Tired of big cable bills? Call your Dish Network vendor now and receive a free Dish Network system, free installation, and 3 months of premium channels free. Offer good until December 31st.
In northern New Jersey, call 1-800-TECHNO-STORES. Satellite Vision, 888-377-4537. Tri-State Installations, 866-941-DISH.
And the year
$2,000 Tony goes to Kiss Me, Kate.
It's Broadway's biggest winner with 5 Tony Awards and the best reviews of the year. The New York Times cheers Kate is irresistible, like one long ear-to-ear grin. While CBS-TV says hi thee to the Martin Beck Theater to enter musical comedy paradise. Call Telecharge today and make a date with Kiss Me, Kate.
Hot man, it's hot! My homework, I forgot it. Geometry, biology. Why do we have to know this stuff anyway?
What your child says and what they mean may be 2 different things. If your child is struggling in school, Huntington Learning Center can help. Huntington can find out what's keeping your child from succeeding and correct it for good.
Yeah, that's it. I'm lazy.
Your child may be telling you more than you realize. Call Huntington today. Your child can learn.
Both these guys woke up with a cold this morning. But not to worry. There are 2 very special Tylenol cold formulas for adults and for children. Each with the proven, trusted relief to feel better fast.
Can we get sick again tomorrow, Dad?
Tylenol Cold. Take comfort in our strength.
Traffic and weather on the 2s.
And the time is 6:22. Let's check traffic and weather on the 2s. We're going to start with Carrie Lee in the traffic department. Hey, Carrie.
Hey, Lisa and Michael. Well, right now, so far, the traffic, it's your normal rush hour buildups. We don't have too many major problems to tell you about, which is pretty good. Snow removal will be the big story traffic-wise of the day because it's still going to affect a lot of areas. If you're intending to park, check again, make sure that you can park in the area. Now, let's take a look at what I've got on the roadways for you right now. That is 495 headed into the Lincoln Tunnel, at least a 15-minute backup there. Holland, about the same, and the George Washington Bridges, about 10 minutes. That's for both decks. And Bell Parkway over by Kennedy Airport, definitely seeing some volume in that area as well, but not too terribly bad for you. Now, if you head out to Westchester County, southbound to Connick at the Sawmill, got an accident there in Hawthorne. It's involving some injuries, so investigation and cleanup is going to take a little while longer. Mass transit at this point is on time. Alternate side rules have been suspended due to snow cleanup, and with traffic and weather every 10 minutes on the 2s. Jim's in the chopper. We've got problems in Jersey City. Jim?
Yeah, Carrie, for those of you heading into the Holland Tunnel this morning, you may notice some smoke over to your left. Well, on Friday morning, we followed a fire all morning long in a paper factory. Well, that fire is still smoldering. Here we are 4 days later. There are still some pockets burning throughout this building. Now, the fire is completely under control, but again, there are still some smoldering spots. You, again, may encounter some smoke as you travel into the Holland Tunnel this morning. Let's go over to Tony Penn now to check on our weather. Tony.
Jim, thanks. Good morning, everyone. The weather's nice and quiet, just cold, no snow to contend with. 21 degrees at Central Park. Look what's happening up north. Big time cold in the northern suburbs. It's 5 below right now in Poughkeepsie. It's not the wind chill. It's the actual temperature, 3 in Andover. At least it's a little warmer down to the south because of the cloud cover. High pressure in control on the weather maps, which means there's nothing to talk about in the snow or rain department for that matter. Mixture of clouds and sunshine this afternoon. The high temperature expected near 30 degrees. It'll stay colder off to the north. The 5-day forecast, a touch warmer tomorrow up to 35. Snow flurries possible Thursday and Friday. Looking forward to the beginning of the weekend, at least temperature-wise. High temperature expected near 40 degrees. The normal high in the upper 30s. So maybe on the beginning of the weekend, we'll actually climb above normal for the first time in about 2 weeks.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Be a sweet
Think
day.
Warm thoughts.
Yep.
Sweet, sweet day it will be.
Day.
Tony, thank you. 6:24, it's time now for sports. 5,000 tickets to Sunday's Giants-Eagles playoff game go on sale today. Don't show up at the stadium, though. You can only buy them through Ticketmaster. Now, for more on the big game and the rest of the day in sports, here's Gary Apple.
The Giants 5.5-point favorites to beat Philadelphia on Sunday at the Meadowlands. The big question is here this morning, can they beat Philly for the 9th consecutive time? The Eagles haven't beaten the Giants since December 1st of '96. It was a cold, rainy day at the Vet. Dave Brown was bad, and the Giants defense wasn't much better as Philly won that game 24-0. Since then, it's been total Giants domination. They've won 8 straight by a total of 93 points. It's a stat the Giants aren't putting much stock in. Here's quarterback Kerry Collins.
You know, people are going to say what they want to say and, you know, talk about the record we have against them and all that kind of stuff. You can throw that out the window. They're a much better football team than we've seen them. We'd be kidding ourselves to think that just because, you know, we've had success against them in the past that we're going to come out and beat them this time.
All right, college ball and the mockery that is the bowl season continued yesterday. Washington beat Purdue at the Rose Bowl 34-24. The Huskies finished with just 1 loss. They beat Miami along the way, and so the question is, if Oklahoma loses in the Orange Bowl, Doesn't Washington deserve the national title as much as anybody? Of course, it's all a moot point because it's a mythical national champion anyway. Third quarter, Purdue down 7, but not for long. Drew Brees, 24 yards to Vinny. Don't call me Kiefer Sutherland. It was tied at 17, but Washington got 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to win it. This is Willie Hurst in from 8 yards. And say goodnight. The Huskies win it by 10. And at the Fiesta Bowl, Oregon State destroyed Notre Dame. That's it. Big Apple Sports.
Right as the ball dropped in Times Square to usher in 2001, New York City's first baby of the year was greeting the new day. I want you to meet Peter Robinson Ashfield. He was born at the stroke of midnight at the Downstate Medical Center in East Flatbush to proud parents Marika Robinson and Peter Ashfield. He's not only the first baby of the year, a lot of people would say he's the first baby of the true new millennium. And while Peter will always be #1 in his parents' eyes, he's going to have the documentation to back it. It says he's born on 01/01/01.
There.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Special kid.
6:27 right now. Still to come, we're live at the scene of a car accident in Brooklyn, one that claimed 4 lives.
Plus, there are more questions and answers following yesterday's puzzling attack against Archbishop Edward Egan.
Tuesday on Martha Stewart Living.
Today our show is all about Indian cultural and culinary traditions.
Take a walking tour of New York's Little India. Then make a delicious stuffed bluefish.
This afternoon at 3 on CBS 2.
Good. Better. Best. The best lease of the year on the Mercury Sable LS Touring Edition. This luxurious Sable has moonroof, leather, ABS, a $2,385 value, no charge for thousands less than Camry XLE. But you must act now to lease Sable with no down payment and no security deposit for $329 a month for 36 months with only $329 cash to its son. Get the details at your Mercury dealer or at dareToCompareMercury.com.
The world is yours. Speak the foreign language you've always wanted to speak. The Language Immersion Institute of SUNY New Paltz works. Choose from 20 different languages. Customized programs. Weekends in New York City. Overseas learning. The Language Immersion Institute. Call 845-257-3500. The Language Immersion Institute of SUNY New Paltz. Give us a few weekends, and we'll give you the world.
This is one of my proudest moments. If you're one of the hundreds of customers that have already purchased the 4300 bedroom group for $699, this is your lucky day. The factory buckled under, so bring in your receipt and we'll hand you a $100 gift certificate. Purchased individually, it's still $699. But now you can buy all 6 pieces for only $599. That's what I call an extreme package deal. Come on down.
Here you go, buddy.
Ever since you were a kid, you believed that life is better with a boat.
Yes.
That's why you'll want to attend the all-new 91st New York National Boat Show. 9 days to save big on thousands of boats. First-time boaters get advice at the Discover Boating Center. And see the 2001 Lincoln Navigator, the most luxurious way to tow your new boat. The New York National Boat Show, January 6th through 14th at the Javits Center. Because life is better with a boat.
It's Hollywood Square's Survivor Week. All the rats consumed this week will be catered by Spago. Watch Jenna Lewis, Jervis Peterson, Sue Hawk, and Rich Hatch next Hollywood Squares.
Tonight at 7:30 on CBS 2.
You're watching the CBS 2 Information Network.
Now, live from Fifth Avenue, this is the news this morning.
It's good to have you with us this morning. I'm Michael Pomeranz.
And I'm Lisa Hill. It is 6:30, 21 degrees going on up to 30 this Tuesday, January 2nd.
Check weather and traffic for you together every 10 minutes on the 2s.
First, the top stories making news right now.
4 people were killed in a car accident in Brooklyn. 4 people died when their car smashed into a truck. Happened just before 4 o'clock this morning at Bay Ridge Parkway and 12th Avenue in Dyker Heights, and we are live at the scene.
A bizarre incident at St. Patrick's yesterday. This man with a history of mental problems allegedly tried to handcuff Archbishop Edward Egan during Mass. The man, Timothy Byrne, was grabbed by an off-duty police officer who stopped the assault. Byrne reportedly has a history of mental problems and holds a grudge against the Catholic Church.
Just the day after a car bomb injured more than 50 people in Israel, a critical meeting on Mideast peace is on tap today in Washington. Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat will meet with President Clinton, seeking an agreement on a framework for peace talks. Israeli leader Ehud Barak says that he is pessimistic about the prospect for a peace deal before Mr. Clinton leaves office in a few weeks.
More tire troubles for Firestone. A consumer watchdog group says the federal government should demand a new recall, one that would pull 40 million tires off the road. The recall would be 6 times larger than the one last August and could devastate the troubled company. Firestone tires have been linked to more than 100 deaths. George W. Bush's cabinet continues to take shape. The president-elect still has 3 slots to fill: Secretaries of Energy, Transportation, and Labor. The next cabinet announcement expected today. Bush also still needs to name a CIA director and a UN ambassador. And in Texas, the so-called .com guy proves his point. Mitch Maddox spent all of the year 2000 inside his house, never venturing past his backyard. He wanted to show that he can live in his house for a year with just a computer and a credit card. On his first day outside, he asked his girlfriend to marry him. Here she is.
Traffic and weather on the 2s.
6:32 right now. Let's go back over to Carrie Lee and check on the commute. Carrie?
Morning. Well, Michael and Lisa, right now it's your normal rush hour delays. This is what we normally have this time of day. Biggest problems really are just going to be dealing with the snow cleanup on the roadways. Here's what I've got for you right now. New Jersey Turnpike by interchange 14. Traffic's moving along at a very good clip. 1 and 9, though, over by Newark Airport on the other side. Still going to see some very heavy traffic, residual delays from an earlier accident, as well as heading into the airport. So expect those backups. At this point, mass transit is on time. Alternate side rules have been suspended due to the snow cleanup. Traffic and weather every 10 minutes on the 2s. Jim's in the chopper. He's above the George Washington Bridge. Jim?
Well, Carrie, earlier we showed you heavy delays at the Lincoln Tunnel. George Washington Bridge, much better alternate this morning, trying to get into New York City. About a 5-minute delay to both the upper and lower levels, and no problems trying to head down the West Side Highway this morning. Let's go over to Tony Penn now to check on our forecast. Tony.
Jim, thanks. Good morning, everyone. We don't expect any weather problems during the day today. It's just cold. 21 degrees right now at Central Park. Northwest wind at 10. Puts the wind chill down into the single digits in the city, but already below 0 with the actual temperatures in our northern suburbs. Much colder way off to the north of Poughkeepsie. It's 5 below. That's not the wind chill. That's the actual temperature. It's 3 degrees currently in Andover. A weak little system passing off to our south on the weather maps. Going to give us a touch of cloud cover this morning, but we'll see plenty of sunshine later on today. So I'll just average it out by saying a mixture of clouds and sunshine. The high temperature 30 degrees here in the city. It'll stay in the low 20s off to the north. We'll check the 5-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. For now, we'll send it back over to the news desk.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Our top story this morning, a deadly car accident in Dyker Heights in the section of Brooklyn. Emily Francis is at the scene. She has been all morning. She's got the latest for us. Emily?
Well, good morning, Lisa. Right now, investigators from the NYPD are on the scene trying to get as much information as they can to try to figure out the exact cause of this collision. Now, what we do know at this point is that the driver of the sanitation truck, it is a front-end loader, was in the process of removing snow as part of an operation in this area to make room for people to park along the streets of Dyker Heights. Now, the sanitation worker told investigators that he noticed a car coming down Bay Ridge Parkway. He didn't have time to get out of the truck, but he tried to duck for cover. The next thing he knew, the driver of the Dodge Intrepid slammed into him. The car exploded, killing all 4 people inside. Now, investigators say that they do not believe at this point that this crash is a result of the ice. In fact, they say there are no signs that the driver of the car lost control. In fact, they believe that the driver was speeding, and by looking at the scene behind where the car, behind the impact, there aren't even skid marks. So at this point, it does not even appear that the driver tried to hit his brakes.
Please, everybody, speed, precaution, stopping at lights, especially this time of the night, this time of the year. Like I said, as the snow melts, it's going to turn to ice. To take that extra second to stop may mean saving your life.
Police are not yet releasing the identities of the 4 people inside the car. We don't know if they were friends or if they were all members of the same family. The driver of the sanitation truck is expected to be okay. We're told that he is at a local hospital and he is in shock at this time. Now, another thing that we're trying to find out and have not been able to confirm is whether the sanitation crew set up flares or any kind of lights to indicate to people driving down the street that there was something going on here, because again, the truck was working in the middle of the road. Reporting live from Dyker Heights, I'm Emily Francis, CBS 2.
All right, Emily, thank you. A man from Hoboken is charged with trying to handcuff himself to Archbishop Edward Egan during Mass. 38-year-old Timothy Byrne was arrested yesterday at St. Patrick's Cathedral. Police say Byrne was on a line to receive communion from the Archbishop when he suddenly jumped from the line and tried, unsuccessfully, to slip a handcuff around Egan's wrist. An off-duty police officer and some church ushers wrestled Byrne to the ground, and as you might expect, parishioners are outraged.
Why would anyone do it? It defies logic.
The next thing is going to be metal detectors in churches. This is insane. I mean, I can't even feel safe in church now anymore.
Published reports this morning say that Byrne was sent to a mental hospital in 1999 after he made threats against President Clinton. The reports say he also filed several lawsuits claiming the church was deceiving the public with its teachings.
Time now is 6:36. Time to see what's coming up at 7 on The Early Show.
Let's go over to John Frankel and Julie Shea. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy
First
New
of all,
Year.
Welcome back to Lisa. She's back from maternity leave after giving birth to a beautiful son.
Why did you come back?
You know, the cold weather brought me out of my warm house. That's what it was.
We've got a lot coming up on The Early Show, including an update on the manhunt for 7 escaped Texas prisoners. They are considered extremely dangerous, and they are armed.
And we're also going to take a look at abstinence education versus sexual education. There's different camps on that theory and what to teach kids. We're also going to do more education when it comes to driving. If you've got a young teen who's about to get a license, well, things that you can do to make it a little bit safer and calm your own nerves.
Also coming up, we're going to have actor Ryan Phillippe. Did I say that his
You got it right.
name right?
Yeah, I think we've been told. Phillippe.
That's right. He's starring in a new movie called Antitrust with Tim Robbins. Also, we'll see what were the top movies at the box office this long holiday weekend. And Martha Stewart's going to be here making some fluffy scrambled eggs and buttermilk pancakes. Yummy. My favorite.
Love pancakes.
You got to have a crispy on the end.
Try not to eat them
thin.
too often, though. Do you put butter on them?
In between every slice.
No butter? No butter, John?
No butter.
I don't do it either. Or my waffles. I just get the syrup.
You can put like some raspberry or strawberries on top of them, but no butter.
You're too healthy.
And the plain old maple syrup.
Thank you, Michael.
Too much health food.
We'll see you in 22 minutes.
Okay.
Time now is 6:38. There is much more straight ahead, including why a lot of the sex shops on the city's hit list have remained open.
Plus, we'll update you on this Tuesday morning commute. We'll check traffic and weather together on the 2. Stay with us.
Visit Europe.com. All you need to plan your trip from the government tourist boards of Europe. Visit Europe. Visit Europe.com.
There's my husband, Nolan Ryan, still throwing heat. Can you believe he's got arthritis? You see, Nolan's doctor says the best way to control arthritis pain is to keep moving. And to make it easier, he recommends Advil. Nothing's been proven stronger on arthritis pain, yet it's gentle on his stomach. In fact, I take Advil for my arthritis pain. That way, we can exercise together.
Advil, stronger than pain. Since 1990, Dr. Della Russo has performed over 20,000 laser vision corrections. Since introducing his flying spot laser by LaDAR Vision, he has performed more LaDAR Vision procedures than any surgeon in the nation. And Dr. Della Russo personally performs each and every procedure in both his New York and New Jersey locations. Experience, technology, personal care. Dr. Della Russo, 212-722-9200.
The new Jammin' 105. Stretch your stuff. Turn on Jammin' 105. Have a little fun at work. It's me, Jay Thomas. Listen to us in the morning or you'll miss all the action. You're the first. You're the last. My everything. The new Jammin' 105. New York's Jammin' Oldies.
When I walk through the doors at CBS, there are so many great memories that I have.
CBS 2 welcomes back Ernie Anastos.
You know, there's a terrific group of people here. So many good reporters that I've worked with in the past, and some new reporters, people who have come to this city hungry, thirsty, and excited about going out there and being the eyes and ears of the public. And that's the spirit and attitude that I love being a part of.
Ernie Anastos, weeknights 6 and 11 on the CBS 2 Information Network.
It's great to be back at CBS 2.
Some surprising numbers this morning in the city's war against the sex shops. And as Amy Nuzzo tells us, Mayor Giuliani's bark is having much more impact than his bite.
Mayor Giuliani's widely publicized crackdown against New York City sex shops has been an uphill battle, fraught with constitutional questions and legal victories for the adult entertainment businesses. The New York Times reports that since the mayor began enforcing a 1995 zoning law aimed at ousting sex shops and topless bars from Manhattan and other boroughs, the number of such businesses has nearly held steady. From 144 in 1998, when the aggressive crackdown began, down to 142 today, a decrease of only 2.
Has had at least some beneficial effect in that the nature of these shops has changed dramatically.
But instead of chasing away peddlers of erotica, the move has forced many of them to reconfigure and to add other non-explicit types of inventory. Dancers at the VIP Club in Chelsea wore bikini tops while the city tried to shut the place down. But after winning a battle in court, the club is back to serving up topless dances, now along with a full menu of sushi and pricey entrees.
It's been worthwhile in that 42nd Street has been cleaned up.
But Giuliani isn't about to put the issue on the back burner. He plans to introduce new legislation early this year that would further tighten restrictions on adult bars and sex shops.
People attend sex clubs, topless joints, because that's what they want to do. And as far as I know, we've lived in this neighborhood for years and years. As far as I know, they've never caused a problem, at least nothing serious.
Amy Nuzzo, CBS 2.
Traffic and weather on the 2s.
It is 6:42. Time to check traffic and weather on the 2s, as we always do. Let's start with Carrie Lee.
Well, you know what? The biggest story for us, traffic-wise, is definitely going to be the snow cleanup, because that will be affecting local roadways, especially in town. Alternate side rules have been suspended until they get all that snow cleared out of the way, so please keep that in mind so you don't get towed. Towing costs a lot of money. Here's what I've got for you right now on screen. There we go. 495 headed into the Lincoln Tunnel, 15 minutes. Holland about the same. George Washington Bridge is going to be about 5 to 10. That's for both decks. Now, Staten Island Expressway definitely starting to see some volume. Not too terribly bad. That's what we normally have this time of day. Now, mass transit at this point is on time, and with traffic and weather every 10 minutes on the 2s. Jim's in the chopper above the Triborough Bridge. Jim?
Well, Carrie, a great ride here in all directions at the Triborough Bridge this morning. Again, most of our main roadways are pretty much snow-free, but again, you do have to watch out on the side of roads, on the shoulders, on some areas where there's tight lanes, narrow lanes, and of course on the secondary roadways. But again, the Triborough Bridge, all of the roadways around here, Deegan Expressway, Bruckner Expressway, Grand Central Parkway, all checking in with a light ride. Let's go over to Tony Penn now to check on our forecast. Tony.
Jim, thanks. Good morning, everyone. At least the weather's nice and quiet. It's just cold. 21 degrees right now at Central Park. A little bit of cloud cover. Look what a difference no clouds makes. It's 5 below up in Poughkeepsie. That's not the wind chill. That's the actual temperature. It's 3 in Andover. The weather should stay quiet, though, the next couple of days. Take a look at our futurecast. You can watch the time frame at the top of your screen. We'll go all the way through the middle and end of the week, and a little system dropping down out of the Great Lakes that may wind up giving us a few snow flurries, I think, late Wednesday and into Thursday morning. But for the most part, things are going to be just fine. So partly sunny, we'll call it this afternoon. The high temperature near 30 degrees. It'll be in the low 20s in our northern suburbs. The 5-day forecast, a little bit warmer during the day tomorrow, but not much. Chance for a few snow flurries, as I mentioned, Thursday and Friday. Looking forward to the beginning of the weekend where we'll come close to 40 degrees for the first time in about 2 weeks.
Wow.
Snow flurries, no big deal later this week.
Just a little icing on the cake.
Another inch doesn't make any difference at this point.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Tony. All right. 6:44 right now, and work crews on Long Island were finally able to pump the water and sewage out of homes after a water main break yesterday caused a flood of problems. A main broke in West Babylon, causing a sewer to back up, and some homes on 9th Street got flooded with a foot of raw sewage. Happy holidays. The break knocked out heat as well, flooding boilers and furnaces.
The water was gushing out of the toilet bowl and out of the shower like it was coming out of a fire hose. That filled all that water you see down there. It was all within a period of maybe half an hour, 45 minutes.
Officials say the cold weather froze the water main, causing it to break. But the break and backup did not affect the drinking water.
That is the good news. 6:45, 15 before 7. We're going to check the headlines and tell you more about the troubled history of the man accused of attacking Archbishop Edward Egan.
Plus, the day's business news with Renee San Miguel. We'll check the CBS Market Watch report in a moment.
Presenting the unshakable confidence of Sevon Denture Adhesive. C-Bond has 100% more holding power than before. C-Bond, more hold.
What does a website have to do with your daily health routine? Everything. CBS Health Watch by Medscape. We're the online authority to help you manage your health. Visit cbs.healthwatch.com every day for your health.
Before.
It looks like our first potentially major storm.
During.
Can you say shutdown?
The roads are extremely dangerous.
Please be very, very careful.
About 11.5 inches on the ground.
And after the holiday storm.
Times Square is looking pretty good.
Nobody brought you more coverage than the CBS-2 Information Network.
The CBS-2 meteorologists were right on target.
So be prepared when the next storm hits with David Rogers and the entire CBS-2 news team. Everything you need to get through the storm. The CBS-2 Information Network.
See it now. Call today for the Tony Award-winning production of Cabaret at the legendary Studio 54.
The news at 6 with Dana Tyler and Ernie Anastos. Weeknights on CBS-2.
Behind the wheel lies the thrill of Toyotathon 01. Get to this blockbuster event for great year-end values on Toyota trucks and SUVs. Lease a 4Runner for $349 a month for 36 months, $29.99 at signing plus taxes and fees. Or buy and save up to $19.50 in combined incentives and options discounts. Toyotathon 01. Oh, yeah. It's back at your Toyota dealer now.
CBS Market Watch is brought to you by Toyota. Real values every day. And now, from CBS-2, this morning's top stories.
The man who tried to handcuff Archbishop Egan at New Year's Mass reportedly has a long-running grudge with the Catholic Church. Police say Timothy Byrne of Hoboken was carrying a backpack filled with federal lawsuits, which claims the Catholic Church is fooling the public about the existence of Jesus Christ. Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat meets with President Clinton today in Washington, trying to agree on a framework for peace talks. The meeting comes just a day after a car bomb injured more than 50 people in Israel. And a Spirit Airlines flight that was supposed to take off from LaGuardia Airport yesterday afternoon never got off the ground. After several delays, the flight to West Palm Beach was finally canceled, and angry passengers say there was nobody from the airline around to answer their questions. No comment so far from Spirit.
6:48 right now. Time for another CBS Market Watch update with Renee San Miguel.
Good morning.
Good
New
morning.
year. Let's see if the markets can get their mojo back. In the words of that great market watcher, Austin Powers. Investors last year must have thought that NASDAQ was a Latin word meaning lose money. The tech-heavy index lost 39%. The Dow for itself lost 6%. So investors are hoping to start the new trading year on better footing. But so far, futures trading points to a weaker open. European markets opened weaker. Asian markets were up slightly. Tyson wins its food fight against Smith. Tyson Foods is buying beef and pork giant IBP for $3.2 billion in cash and stock, outbidding Smith Foods. Tyson will also assume debt of $1.5 billion in the transaction. That deal is still subject to regulatory and shareholder approval. Chase Manhattan and J.P. Morgan will trade under one company today. The new name, J.P. Morgan Chase & Company, and it'll trade under the ticker JPM. Also, J.P. Morgan Chase will succeed J.P. Morgan as a component stock of the Dow. Aerospace giant Boeing is reportedly talking to Japan's Mitsubishi Heavy Industries to produce wings for the latest 747X line of jumbo jets. The Wall Street Journal says an accord would likely draw fire from union officials and be a blow to France's Airbus. And not content with having its chips in many of the world's computers, now Intel wants to conquer the digital music world. Intel's coming out with a portable MP3 player called the Pocket Concert. The cigarette pack-sized device will be available to buy next month. It will feature 128 megabytes of flash memory that store up to 4 hours of downloaded music. For more on the markets, head to cbs.marketwatch.com or AOL at keyword MarketWatch. Intel must have known that I got an MP3 player for Christmas that holds 1 hour of music. So now I have to go out and buy this one, I guess.
You do.
But they saw me coming.
That's right. Thanks, Renee. Time now, 10 minutes before 7. Straight ahead, we're going to tell you why some brave souls are feeling the big chill.
And will Mother Nature give us the cold shoulder today? Find out when we check traffic and weather together.
Want to see a pill that helped me lose weight and still eat whatever I wanted? There isn't one. But there is a better way. That's the Jenny Craig way. They taught me that losing weight comes down to eating the right food in the right portions. I got one-on-one consulting and a personalized menu at Jenny's Cuisine.
Join Jenny Craig now and get 50% off plus the cost of food. You've always had the will. Let us show you the way.
Hey, good morning.
Hi.
Here you go.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, wait, I have your cable bill.
Tired of big cable bills? Call your Dish Network vendor now and receive a free Dish Network system, free installation, and 3 months of premium channels free. Offer good until December 31st.
Global Satellite 877-348-4345. New Yorker International 718-777-5555. Crystal Vision 845-623-0640.
And the year 2000, Tony, goes to Kiss Me, Kate.
It's Broadway's biggest winner with 5 Tony Awards and the best reviews of the year. The New York Times cheers Kate is irresistible, like one long ear-to-ear grin. While CBS-TV says hi thee to the Martin Beck Theater to enter musical comedy paradise. Call Telecharge today and make a date with Kiss Me, Kate.
Man, it's hot!
Need extra cash? Don't charge it on your credit cards. Get a second mortgage with no closing costs from Ditech.com. With a second mortgage, you can consolidate all your existing high-interest debts, get the cash you need for any purpose, and end up with one lower monthly payment. A second mortgage with no closing costs is smart money from Ditech.com. Log on now for fast online approval or call us at 1-800-71-FIXED.
Survive the outback or be a castaway in paradise. Visit CBSNewYork.com for a chance to win an all-inclusive vacation at the new Our Lucaya on Grand Bahama Island. The winner will be announced after the Survivor 2 premiere. Our Lucaya, Grand Bahama's newest resort.
Traffic and weather on the 2s.
Time now to check traffic and weather on the 2s. Let's start with Carrie Lee, find out how things are going this morning.
Well, Lisa and Michael, right now, if you're headed into town, Lincoln Tunnel, it's going to be about a 15-minute wait for you. Holland about the same. Both exits of the George Washington Bridge, about a 5 to 10-minute delay there as well. East River crossings will be a bit heavy. Mass transit definitely the way to go, and alternate side rules have been suspended. That's due to snow cleanup. Traffic and weather every 10 minutes on the 2s. Jim's in the chopper. What's going on out there, Jim?
Well, Carrie, we're over the Manhattan Bridge and a heavy ride this morning trying to get inbound the Brooklyn Bridge. At the top of your screen, contrast there, a much lighter ride this morning. Definitely the Brooklyn Bridge the way to go getting into lower Manhattan this morning. Let's go over to Tony Penn now to check on our forecast. Tony.
Thanks, Jim. Good morning, everyone. Not a whole lot to talk about weather-wise. A few scattered clouds out there. Some big-time cold, though, in the northern suburbs. It's 21 right now at Central Park, but it's 5 below zero in Poughkeepsie. That's the actual temperature, not the wind chill. 3 degrees right now in Andover. High pressure on the weather map's going to keep us dry and cold for the next couple of days. The forecast for this afternoon, then a mixture of sunshine and clouds. The high temperature a little bit either side of 30 degrees, perhaps a touch colder off to our north. The 5-day forecast, sunshine tomorrow. A couple of snow flurries possible Thursday morning, then again Friday afternoon. Looking forward to the beginning of the weekend. We might hit 40 degrees for the first time since December the 19th. Melt off a little bit of that 2 feet of snow in some places.
True, it's true. That 35 tomorrow is looking pretty good to me, too.
It's all relative, like you said.
Trend, yeah. Thanks, Tony.
Okay.
6:54, and on days as cold as we have had recently, you might say, nice day for polar bears, and you'd be right. An annual New Year's Day tradition that makes most people shudder. Members of the Polar Bear Club believe a dip in the frigid Atlantic is the only way to start the new year. And they took the plunge yesterday in the 35-degree water, bone-chilling for most, perhaps, but not the polar bears.
Time now, 6:54. Straight ahead, CBS 2's purveyor of all things out of the ordinary, Maury Alter, takes a look back at the year 2000.
Closed captioning for CBS 2, provided by Toyota. Real values every day.
Hi, I'd like to start getting home delivery of the Sunday New York Times.
Now you can enjoy Sunday even more by getting the New York Times delivered to your home every weekend. And when you call now, you'll get 50% off the regular home delivery price.
I enjoy waking up and having the Sunday New York Times waiting for me. I know it'll tell me things that I won't hear, read, or see anywhere else.
I get international and cultural news, and I get a jump on the week ahead.
Call now to order, and you'll get the book review, travel, arts and leisure, week in review, and the New York Times Magazine.
On Sunday mornings, we catch up on what we really love. She goes straight for arts and leisure. I check out the magazine.
So call now to enjoy the Sunday New York Times for 8 weeks with home delivery at 50% off.
Hi. I'd like to start getting the Sunday New York Times at home.
I think the only thing I enjoy more than doing the crossword puzzle is actually finishing it.
Call now, 1-800-357-4157, and get the Sunday New York Times delivered to your home every weekend.
For me, Sunday was made for the New York Times.
Nightcast with Angela Rae and Ernie Anastos, weeknights on CBS-2.
Now a look back at the year 2000 from somebody who looks at just about everything from a, less than conventional point of view. We're talking about the Maury story of all Maury stories.
You heard the one about 8 million stories in the Naked City, but you're in luck, friend. This is only a 2-minute or so piece, and I only do 100 or so a year, and I'll winnow those down, and together we'll remember some of the faces and places that I won't forget.
We'll start with the really big news I covered about Renee Nunez, the really big high school football player we met from Roselle Park.
517 pounds.
That's right.
I just want to make sure I've got this right. If this was during a game, this would be called
holding. Of course, there was no way of escaping a story on the number 2 story of the year, that TV show. We did one on folks who didn't qualify for the big show, but hoped to win a car by being the last one sitting in it. You try sleeping on what they eat.
The main staple is bean burritos.
Bean burritos?
No gas crisis here.
Certainly not here, at least not on my end. No pun intended.
Have a lovely day to all my lovely friends. And then there was that airport customer service guy, Robert Baldwin, who could make, get this, being in an airport fun. And that doorman at the plaza, John Sorrentini, who decided 53 years were enough.
To everything, there is a time under God's heaven. Fond regards, Joe Sorrentini, to all my friends.
Hope the fishing's good, John.
Good morning, class. Dr. Professor Morris Alter, Advanced Ballot Counting.
We really learned a lot from the number 1 story of the year.
For starters, who knows what a Chad is?
It's when you type online to someone else. Instant messaging.
Oh, no, not chat. Chad.
Chad.
People caught on real fast.
All together now. Hanging Chad.
Hanging Chad.
Excellent.
Swinging Chad.
Swinging Chad.
Fantastic.
Try Chad.
Try Chad.
Like a triangle. I get it.
And the two that don't count, the pregnant Chad.
Pregnant Chad.
Sometimes referred to as the dimple Chad.
Dimple Chad.
And now we know what Chad is.
Get out of here.
All right, so some people could be kind of snippy, but most of the time, most of the folks we met were really nice, like the kids from Vermont who came down with Thanksgiving dinner and cooked it with the young people from Covenant House.
Show us your toys!
And before you knew it, 2000 was just about history.
Merry Christmas to Luca and Alessandra.
A New Yorkie.
Maybe you're thinking, Maury, ever worry that you'll run out? Not in this town, because there's always somebody. And he was apparently here last night. Maury Alter, CBS-2.
I was driving along and I saw somebody with these really weird sunglasses on. I thought, wow, weird. And I realized she was wearing the 2001 ones.
I saw them all over the place on New Year's Eve. Yeah.
So that was New Year's Day, though. So she was still carrying on the holiday.
Hey, carry it for the next 24 hours. Carry the party over.
All right, because the weather is going to be...
It's going to be cold, but dry.
Okay.
It's below 0 in our northern suburbs right now, and that's not the wind chill. Up in Poughkeepsie, the temperature is 5 below.
Gosh.
How's that for a little cold?
Yeah, but we've got the big heat wave coming in.
Yeah.
It's going to be 40 this weekend. 40. Break out the copper tone. Thanks for watching us this morning.
Stay tuned for updates on news, traffic, and weather throughout the morning.
Right now, The Early Show is coming up next.
President Clinton calls an emergency meeting with Yasser Arafat after a weekend of bombings and bloodshed in the Mideast.
Investors hope for a better Wall Street forecast after a stormy year for stocks in 2000.
And reported weekend sightings of 7 prisoners.
I told her I didn't know if I'd ever be able to pay her back. She said not to worry about it.
A passion for justice. Decisions that make a difference. Tomorrow on Curtis Court.
Would you like to get more health?
Jane Clayson. This is
of getting more for your Medicare dollar. Get drug coverage, 100% hospitalization, and more by calling Elder Plan. 877-510-2633.
CBS Wednesday. All bets are on.
Yo, 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 the divide is in the house.
First, catch Bet in her hit sitcom. Then later in the blockbuster movie that put fear in the hearts of husbands everywhere.
Wake up and smell the orders.
Goldie Hawn.
Any more collagen, your lips are going to look like they got stuck in a pool drain.
Morning, Mohammed.
Diane Keaton.
I'm talking about justice.
Sarah Jessica Parker and Bette Midler.
There she is, huh? Princess Pelvis.
The First Wives Club after Bet and Welcome to New York Wednesday.
Nightcast with Angela Rae and Ernie Anastos, weeknights on CBS-2.
Chevy Tracker, like a rock.
You know how hard it is to quit smoking.
Mr. Moore, we'll see you then.
Of a boy who just didn't get math. I mean, he wasn't stupid or anything. There was like a wall there.
At Sylvan Learning Center, we solve academic problems by precisely identifying the cause. That's why we start with the Sylvan Skills Assessment before we design a personalized program.
Once there was a girl who had trouble reading. She used to pretend to be invisible. That way the teacher would never call on her.
Call Sylvan today and find out how our skills assessment can give a comprehensive profile of your child's strengths and weaknesses. We'll identify skill gaps, then create a program to help your child fill in those gaps. Because our assessment so clearly uncovers your child's learning issues, we guarantee results.
Her story has a happy ending. I like happy endings.
Call Sylvan at 1-800-624-2079 to schedule an assessment. Success is learned.
Hollywood.com Entertainment Report. CBS-2 Information Network, News on the Hour.
Good morning, I'm Michael Pomeranz. In the headlines this hour, 4 people died this morning when their car slammed into a snowplow. Happened on the Bay Ridge Parkway in Dyker Heights. High speeds and freezing temperatures may be to blame. And it's the end of an era in New York. Today is the final workday for Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan. Ira Joe Fisher's forecast for today, partly cloudy with highs in the 20s and 30s. More news in 1 hour.
Tuesday on Martha Stewart Living.
Today our show is all about Indian cultural and culinary traditions.
Take a walking tour of New York's Little India, then make a delicious stuffed bluefish.
This afternoon at 3 on CBS-2.
Hey, no, down here. Instead of running out for stamps, shouldn't you be running your business? Imagine a simpler way. Get the Personal Post postage meter from Pitney Bowes. Send mail without ever going out for stamps. Just weigh, punch in the postage, and voila. Professionally metered mail and no wasted postage. You can also add a personal message to get your mail noticed. Postage refills by phone in 30 seconds, day or night. Now listen up, because here's what you'll get.
What's your favorite Entenmann's?
My one wish. Ultimate crumb cake. Moist every time. Lots of cinnamon crumbs. Yum, it rubs me the right way. Entenmann's, what's your favorite?
Breakfast! Bagels! Thomas's Bagels!
Golden outside, perfect inside. People who love bagels love the taste of Thomas's Bagels.
Thomas's.
It's Hollywood Square's Survivor Week.
All the rats consumed this week will be catered by Spago.
Watch Jenna Lewis, Jervis Peterson, Sue Hawk, and Rich Hatch next Hollywood Squares.
Tonight at 7:30 on CBS-2.
What does 0 represent to you? How you felt the first time someone called you fat? The calories you sometimes allow yourself? the dress size you want to be? Until we change the way we think about what is healthy, Zero will forever represent the number of times we successfully lose weight. Nutritious Scan Diet is clinically proven to help you lose weight. It's backed by 10 years of research, it's soy-based, which helps lower cholesterol, and it tastes great. Scan Diet, the last diet you may ever need. Now only at GNC. Live well.
The News at Noon with Michael Pomeranz and Cindy Hsu, weekdays on CBS2.
Don't miss Golden Globe nominee Amy Brenneman in Judging Amy.
I'm James from the King of Queens, and I'm hosting the People's Choice Awards on CBS. I gotta get in shape because the camera adds about 10 pounds.
At some point, you're gonna have to start using your legs, Kevin.
I know. Back it off. Warming up.
Don't miss all your favorite stars at the People's Choice Awards, live CBS Sunday.
Okay, that's enough for today. You don't have to buy a ticket for the biggest movie events of the year because CBS is bringing them to a TV near you. Only the #1 movie network will bring you superstars and blockbusters that are out of this world. You bring the popcorn, we'll do the rest. It's all here every CBS Sunday, America's Night at the Movies.
You're watching the CBS2 Information Network.
Now, live from Fifth Avenue, this is the News at Noon.
Right now at noon, snow, speed, flames, and death. 4 people are killed when their car crashes into a truck, removing snow from the big weekend storm. It's good to have you with us this afternoon. I'm Michael Pomeranz.
And I'm Cindy Hsu. Now, this killer crash happened in the middle of the night while
You're watching the CBS2 Information Network.
Right now, from the CBS2 studios on Fifth Avenue.
In the heart of the Tri-State area. This is New York Live.
And good afternoon. Welcome to New York Live. It is Tuesday, the first work day of the new year. Thanks for being with us. I'm Dana Tyler.
And I'm Todd McDermott, and welcome back to you.
Thank you. So glad to be here. And let's just say it right now. I am so happy for this new year, new beginnings, surrounded by my very good friends here, familiar faces here at Channel 2. Todd McDermott, my partner now at New York Live. You're psyched?
Very excited to be here.
It's
very
a great
excited.
Show. A lot of fun.
I won't leave the studio anymore during the hour, I promise.
And also Cindy Hsu will be doing our news, CBS2 Information Network. See her at noon as well. Hey, Cindy.
Hey, it's great to be here.
Thanks. Great to have you. Thanks. So you missed me over the past few days?
Well, you know, I can't say that I missed you. I'll tell you why. Because you were here. Because we had Best of New York Live for a week, and you were here, but you were on tape. And I think some of the crew would admit that a few times I tried to talk to you, but you wouldn't talk back to me. And then I realized again that you were on videotape.
Beauty of videotape, some of our best shows.
I was the live portion of New York
Live. Right, you were every day. Should I just say where I was? Because it's a little rub-it-in thing.
You know, I'll tell you, I thought of you several times. You had Christmas at home, but then you took off.
I went to Southern California for a wedding, Santa Barbara in the 70s every day, right there on the Pacific.
Including...
Tried the golf. Can I just say that? Remember
Again?
how high I was after my last trip?
Yeah.
Okay, it takes some work.
Little sophomore jinx there on the second golf outing?
I'm not giving up, but fireworks New Year's Eve on the pier, on the water at Santa Barbara, and it was great. I know.
But you missed.
Poor you guys,
You missed
right?
the winter wonderland here.
You know, and out there, they sort of talk about it, but I have to say Californians, they're in another world.
Would you like a little taste of it right now? Can we give you a little
here,
taste of what it was like feeling in the snow? We're 24 hours, 26 hours, 28 hours away. Thank you, Hazel.
29 hours, 30 hours.
It doesn't matter. Just, we'll be here, so it really won't matter.
Yeah, we will. It went on and on and on, I guess, huh?
It was, and I'll tell you what, New York's strongest, the sanitation department did a remarkable job. So I couldn't use the excuse that I couldn't walk to work. I got here on Saturday and Sunday. But thanks to them, everything went very smoothly, and New Year's Eve went off without a hitch.
And, you know, the driving, and I flew into Kennedy last night, and you just see this. I have to say, you know, you look for the beauty, the winter wonderland out there. So I'm sorry I couldn't be here.
It's always beautiful out a window.
Right from high. Hey, do you have resolutions?
I do have a resolution. You know, everybody asks me all weekend, what's your resolution? And I usually don't have them because I break them so quickly.
Easy, just pick something.
But I did resolve that I'm going to spend more time with the kids doing what the kids want to do.
Now, Maddie's how old?
Maddie's 8 and Max is 10.
Those are good ages to be very active.
Right, and so we're going to do more things. I don't think this involves laying on the couch and watching football.
No more couch potato stuff.
I don't think that's their choice.
Or what's that thing you do with the PlayStation?
Well,
get out. What we saw in the open there, the ice skating woman rink, literally a block just about from
Picking Daddy up off the ice rink.
There you go.
Perfect.
Very active
for the new year.
Well,
they'll need Mom's help too.
Minus the usual stuff. The weight loss exercise thing.
We're going to talk about that
We're
today.
going to, right? All
Resolutions
week long,
with
in fact.
results.
I like that. Go ahead. Yes.
All right. We're going to talk about all kinds of things, simple ways to incorporate them into your life. And today, Dr. Shapiro, Picture Perfect Weight Loss, has a visual lesson you will not believe to help you shed those pounds.
He was here over the holidays about how to go to a holiday party and, you know, how to measure what you eat without eating everything, which was very helpful. The year 2001 is starting off in the deep freeze. Ira Joe, Happy New Year to you. Any resolutions?
No. Well, actually, I'm going to walk on the treadmill, and I started by doing so today. Really, I don't want to even call it a resolution because that seems to set one up for failure. And I was admiring you, Dana, going from Santa Claus to Santa Barbara. It's like you're working your way through the alphabet here.
Did my best.
In the holiday season. We're in the deep freeze, and you know what? We had thought perhaps the weekend would reach the 40s when we talked about this subject of weather at noon. Doesn't appear that to be the case now. We'll talk about your chili and my chili weather later here on New York Live. I hope you'll stay tuned. I trust you will.
Yes. Thank you, Ira.
Thank you, Todd.
Now for a look at today's headlines from the CBS 2 Information Network, Cindy Hsu. Cindy.
Okay, Dan and Todd, thank you very much. Well, police say speed is to blame for the deaths of 4 people when their car slammed into a city sanitation truck removing snow from the big weekend storm. Investigators believe the driver of the Dodge Intrepid was speeding down Bay Ridge Parkway around 3:30 this morning in the Diker Heights section of Brooklyn. That's when it slammed into a front-end loader and exploded, instantly killing the 2 men and 2 women inside. The police people who live nearby are not surprised by the accident.
This is like a speedway. This is like a speedway. Racing back and forth, back. It's like the Indy 500.
I thought about the families, especially with the New Year, the holidays. It was just terrible, especially having a daughter. I could never imagine anything like this happening.
Dental records are being used to identify the passengers of the car. A group of environmental extremists is claiming responsibility for burning and vandalizing 4 homes on Long Island. The attacks happened early Saturday morning at the Island Estates housing development in Mount Sinai. The homes that were targeted were all under construction. The group called the Earth Liberation Front says it scrawled graffiti and started the fires to fight urban sprawl, the overdevelopment of forests and farmlands. People who live nearby are shocked.
I don't think anybody condones what they did. I mean, nobody agrees with it. So it wasn't the right way to do it, that's for sure.
We came from Queens, you know, looking for a little bit of a better life, you know, trying a nice, quiet neighborhood. And, yeah, this is very surprising.
The Earth Liberation Front claimed responsibility for 2 other arson attacks on Long Island last year. And in 1998, ELF protested deforestation by setting fires at a Vail, Colorado ski resort. Well, the man who attacked Archbishop Egan during Mass at St. Patrick's Cathedral is about to face a judge. Timothy Byrne is scheduled to be arraigned on charges. He grabbed Egan by the wrist during communion yesterday and tried to handcuff the Archbishop. A former mental patient allegedly attacked Egan because of a grudge against the Catholic Church. Byrne has been suing the Catholic Church unsuccessfully for more than a year. The 38-year-old has a history of mental illness and trouble with the law. Back in 1999, Byrne was arrested and sent to a mental hospital after he allegedly threatened President Clinton. And it's the end of an era for New York politics. After 25 years, the legendary Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan is leaving office. Moynihan will be officially replaced tomorrow as Hillary Clinton is sworn in as New York's junior senator. The 73-year-old Moynihan leaves behind a rich legacy of complex and sometimes groundbreaking ideas, from welfare reform to foreign affairs to Social Security. But Moynihan does not intend to leave the public eye entirely. He has accepted a position lecturing at Syracuse University's Maxwell School of Government. That's the news for now. I'm Cindy Hsu. I'll be back in a few minutes with another update from the CBS 2 Information Network. Now back to Dana and Todd and New York Live.
Excuse me?
That would be Dana, my very good friend. Sweetie, I'm so sorry.
Donna will be part of the show as well.
You got it.
You know, when I was in college, a guy always used to call me Donna Taylor, Cindy, so I'll take it.
You know I
answer. Donna Taylor, yes, hello. Well, we are going to talk about Passion to Profits, a segment we do every week, and for millions of women, life after breast cancer is becoming more bearable thanks to a new clothing company.
CBS 2's Annika Pergamut has the woman behind Ladies First in this week's Passion to Profits report.
The small stuff. You know what I mean? You get all stressed out about stupid little things. Appreciate your life. That's what it is.
All right. Can I take that one, too?
You can have it.
Right.
Dana, you're the one who needs it. That whole lose weight thing, please.
Just a little get in shape thing. What the
Just a little get in shape thing?
The bagel. See, I always go for the bagel or the Eggs Benedict instead of the fruity.
That was amazing. I mean, Dr. Shapiro's just the things, the comparisons. I was really surprised. Are you done with that candy? That was so Dana. Spit it out. That was so her.
I was not going to spit it. And I would have taken
I know. I broke it in my mouth and I swallowed it.
Rush Hour. Let's check it out right now on a Tuesday afternoon.
Let's get a final check from Heather O'Rourke. Hi, Heather.
Hi, guys. We will go outside and see how things are looking at the Triborough Bridge. Not too bad, but I do want to let you know that the Grand Central Parkway westbound, the ramp onto the Triborough Bridge is going to be closed down from midnight tonight till 5 a.m. through Thursday. So basically midnight until 5 a.m. for the rest of the week through Thursday. This is all because of a construction project. What you'll need to do is go to the 59th Street Bridge and up the east side in order to get to the Bronx, or you can take the Throgs Neck or the Whitestone Bridge, but that Triborough construction project begins tonight. Now, the other problem that we have now is the southbound Van Wyck, pretty slow into the Kew Gardens interchange. That's all volume. And we do have a lot of volume at LaGuardia Airport, excessive volume causing delays. Make sure you call your individual carrier. Street cleaning rules suspended again for tomorrow. Back to you.
Okay, thanks, Heather. You know, we're really excited here on New York Live and so glad that you decided to start your week here. We know yesterday was a holiday, but I'm so
for almost everybody.
Okay, I wasn't here. But I'm so glad to have you guys both here, because obviously we work together, but it's fun.
Yep.
New York Live is very fun.
Show.
It's live. We have a lot of new things coming up here today, don't we?
Yes.
At 6 o'clock.
Oh, Ernie Anastos starts here, back here at Channel 2.
We want to welcome him back.
What else do we have?
I don't know.
On the spot.
We have a chance
tomorrow?
We have a chance to talk about tomorrow a little bit because
our week here.
You know that resolutions with results things just keeps on giving. It continues this time with a lesson on your finances. Money Magazine's here to help you get your investments and your bills, please, in order for the coming year. I wish I could.
Imagine foods that not only taste good, but they actually curb your appetite. Well, imagine no more. We are going to show you.
And then that would be?
That would be. And also, if for those who watch Guiding Light, Beth Chamberlain, who plays Beth on Guiding Light, she's back. Soap stars. You know,
I know.
She will be doing all the soap, just so you know.
So anyway,
all you.
She's here tomorrow, and she's a really great actress and a nice person. So we're glad to have her on New York Live on Wednesday.
All right. And yeah, that's right. Tomorrow is Wednesday.
I'm with that, right?
Okay, we're there.
Feels like Monday.
That's it for today, Tuesday at 4 on New York Live. Thanks for joining us. I'm Todd McDermott.
I'm Cindy Hsu.
And I'm Dana Tyler. See you at 6 with Ernie Anastos. Stay tuned now for the news at 5. Up next in 1 minute with Todd, very, very busy, and Angela Rae.
Visit Europe.com. All you need to plan your trip from the government tourist boards of Europe. Visit Europe. Visit Europe.com.
Need extra cash? Don't charge it on your credit cards. Get a second mortgage with no closing costs from Ditech.com. With a second mortgage, you can consolidate all your existing high-interest debts, get the cash you need for any purpose, and end up with one lower monthly payment. A second mortgage with no closing costs is smart money from Ditech.com. Log on now for fast online approval or call us at 1-800-71-FIXED.
You're watching the CBS-2 Information Network.
Now, live from Fifth Avenue, this is the news at 5.
Tonight, deadly fumes. A building's illegally installed heating system is being blamed for the death of a New Jersey man. That victim died from carbon monoxide poisoning. Good evening. I'm Angela Rae.
I'm Todd McDermott.
President's angry over...
This is the new choice for New York's nighttime news. Weather.
Flash flood watch in effect.
And sports. The new CBS-2 Nightcast at 11.
I'm Angela Rae.
I'm Ernie Anastos.
Part of the CBS-2 Information Network.
Woman versus the police. She says she was forced to strip after being pulled over. We're live with all the details on this story. And then we're 1 day away from Senator Hillary Clinton and, of course, Senator John Corzine. We'll take you live to Washington for the details. And Governor Pataki has a plan to cut taxes in New York. Will it work? We'll check it out for you. Those stories and so much more, including Warner Sports, when Dana Tyler and I see you tonight at 6 o'clock. Todd, back to you.
Ernie, thank you. Now the Jets are out of control.
Visit Europe.com. All you need to plan your trip from the government tourist boards of Europe. Visit Europe. Visit Europe.com.
It's a little something I've done every night since...
Increase and your benefit will never decrease due to age. Plus your coverage bill's cash value. That's money you can borrow against. You know the average cost of a funeral today is over $5,000? And that can be a big burden for anyone to place on their loved ones. I'm doing this commercial because I believe in Conseco Direct Life. They make it easy and affordable to get the coverage you need. Call now for free information and a free gift.
All I did was make a phone call to Conseco Direct Life. They answered all my questions.
It couldn't have been any easier. And we've both got the coverage we should have had for years now.
Mm-hmm. With change to spare.
Conseco Direct Life is proud of its 35-year history of providing quality life insurance. Call toll-free 1-800-242-6897 to receive free information in the mail about this valuable life insurance. Rates are only $6.95 a unit per month and never go up. Dial 1-800-242-6897. The call is free, and so is this handy guide to Social Security. Operators are available 24 hours a day. Call now, 1-800-242-6897. There's no risk or obligation. That's 1-800-242-6897.
The news this morning with Michael Pomeranz and Lisa Hill. Weekdays on CBS 2.
You're watching the CBS 2 Information Network.
Now, live from Fifth Avenue, this is the news at 6.
Our top story on CBS 2 at 6, a police investigation on Long Island after a woman accuses an officer of forcing her to strip to her underwear in the freezing, snowy weather. Good evening, I'm Dana Tyler.
And I'm Ernie Anastos. The alleged incident is sparking a $15 million lawsuit tonight.
The woman says she was pulled over, given a DWI test, then told to take her clothes off and walk home.
CBS 2 reporter Michael O'Looney is live in Patchogue with the very latest for us. Michael.
Ernie, this young woman claims that instead of being arrested for DWI, she was forced by a police officer to strip and then to walk home in 20-degree weather wearing only her panties and high heels. Angelina Torres broke down in tears as she retold her story of allegedly being forced to walk home nearly naked by a Suffolk County police officer as he watched from his patrol car.
I would like him not to be on the force. God forbid he does this to somebody else, if not worse.
Torres says it happened early New Year's Day after she left the Chardonnay bar in Shirley. She was stopped for a DWI test, and after failing, the officer allegedly handcuffed her, placed her in his patrol car, and began driving her around, bragging that he often made drunks walk home naked.
He drove me to like 5 blocks away from my house, got me out the car, unhandcuffed me, and told me to take my clothes off and walk home.
Torres says she did protest, but the officer threatened she'd go to jail for a long time if he arrested her, and so she walked, carrying her New Year's gown in her arms as the officer allegedly trailed in his car.
I did ask him why. He said because to teach me a lesson. So I just wanted to go home.
Now Torres wants to teach the officer a lesson.
We're suing the county for $15 million. We're suing for punitive damages. The purpose of punitive damages is to punish a defendant so that the type of conduct that has occurred will not occur again.
Officers from Internal Affairs are now investigating the allegations. The cop in question has been identified, but police refuse to release his name, citing an ongoing probe.
Any complaint of this nature would be taken seriously, and we'll see where the facts lead us.
There are no independent witnesses to this incident. Based on the uniform that cop was wearing, it's believed he worked for Highway Patrol. His car has been impounded by Internal Affairs. Dana?
Michael, thanks. The man who tried to attack Archbishop Egan during Mass at St. Patrick's Cathedral has been ordered to undergo psychiatric evaluation. Timothy Byrne of Hoboken was arraigned today on several charges, including attempted unlawful imprisonment, resisting arrest, and criminal possession of a weapon. Archbishop Egan, seen here on another occasion, was giving out communion when Byrne tried to handcuff him to his own wrist. Church ushers and an off-duty police detective came to the Archbishop's rescue. Byrne's Hoboken neighbors were shocked by news of the attack.
You know, I can't believe this guy's even living here in my building, and, you know, to think that, you know, I would, you know, just walk right past him and you know, he never even attacked me.
Authorities say Byrne threatened President Clinton last year. Secret Service agents found a samurai sword and a pellet gun in Byrne's apartment in Hoboken.
It is the end of an era in New York. After 24 years as U.S. Senator, Daniel Patrick Moynihan is serving his last day. Moynihan leaves a legacy of groundbreaking ideas on critical issues from welfare reform to foreign affairs. His most recent contribution to New York, securing millions of dollars to restore Penn Station. His departure from the Senate clears the way for Hillary Clinton to be sworn in tomorrow. CBS 2 reporter Marcia Kramer is live for us in Washington with the latest. Good evening, Marcia.
Hey, Ernie, how are you? Well, actually, New York City, the metropolitan area, rather, is going to have 3 senators sworn in tomorrow. But it is Hillary Clinton who is making history as the first lady ever to be a senator. She'll be accompanied to the Senate chamber tomorrow by New York's new senior senator, Charles Schumer.
Hillary Clinton, I think, is an extremely talented person in terms of her intelligence and her hard work and her dedication. And I think she's going to use that to focus on helping New York. We have 19 million people in our state, huge needs. And I look forward to having somebody who can help share all the things, all the burdens that we have to help New York.
There's a huge picture on Chuck Schumer's office wall of him and Hillary Clinton holding their breath to blow out candles at a Democratic fundraiser. It's funny because many New Yorkers are holding their breath to see how well New York's new senior senator gets along with New York's new junior senator, a media star whose swearing in tomorrow marks the first time a sitting first lady will also be a senator. For now, Schumer is taking the high road, talking about the need for everybody to cooperate in the Senate that now is split 50-50 among Democrats and Republicans.
You know, if this election had one message, given its closeness with the presidency, given the 50-50 in the Senate, that the House is only 3 or 4 votes different, the American people said one thing. They said work in a bipartisan way or don't work at all.
Meanwhile, if you wanted to find Senator-elect Hillary Clinton's new transition office in the basement of the Dirksen office building, you had to follow the trail of boxes to a large spare room furnished with computers and new bright red mouse pads that say U.S. Senate. Sitting at Hillary's new desk in a tiny, unadorned side office was Tamara Luzzatto, named today as Mrs. Clinton's new chief of staff. Mrs. Clinton, ranking 97th in Senate seniority, will be sworn in tomorrow by Vice President Al Gore. He will also swear in running mate Joe Lieberman of Connecticut and John Corzine of New Jersey. Corzine's offices are even smaller than Mrs. Clinton's, but his plans are just as grand. The former head of Goldman Sachs was as excited as a little boy on Christmas morning to be taking on a new job.
I don't think there's anything that's ever charged me up as much as this experience, and I'm trying to stay calm.
Now, Corzine will host a reception for his supporters tomorrow, but Mrs. Clinton starts celebrating tonight. The first of 3 celebrations will be held at a Washington restaurant where she'll be accompanied by her husband, the president, in his new role as Senate spouse. And all indications point to the fact he's going to have to get used to it. Now, I'll be here tomorrow to cover all the swearings in, and I'll bring it to you live starting tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Live from Washington, I'm Marcia Kramer, CBS 2.
Thanks, Marcia. We'll see you tomorrow. Westchester Congresswoman Nita Lowey is taking on a new political job. Lowey will be the first woman to head the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. She replaces Representative Patrick Kennedy of Rhode Island. Lowey will play a key role in Democratic efforts to win back the House in 2002. The Democratic caucus is expected to ratify her appointment tomorrow. Mrs. Lowey would be among the highest-ranking women in House Democratic leadership. Puerto Rico has a new governor tonight. Celia Calderon, Puerto Rico's first woman governor, was sworn in this afternoon. Calderon opposes statehood, which former Governor Pedro Rosello championed. Puerto Rico is currently a U.S. Commonwealth. Calderon is also outspoken about relations with the United States. She says the Navy should immediately leave its bombing range on the island of Vieques. Governor Rosello made a deal allowing the Navy to stay there until 2003.
We're getting a sneak peek at Governor Pataki's plans for New York. Today, the governor revealed some of the items he'll call for in tomorrow's State of the State address. They include a statewide tax cut totaling $2.3 billion. That includes a big push to boost the upstate economy. Governor Pataki is calling for a $700 million package of tax cuts and economic development initiatives for upstate, and he wants to create an elite state police squad to stop the trafficking of illegal guns in New York State. Governor Pataki will deliver the State of the State address tomorrow afternoon in the State Assembly chamber in Albany. We, of course, will have a complete wrap-up on CBS 2.
With 18 days to spare, President-elect George W. Bush has finished choosing his cabinet. Norman Mineta is Bush's choice for Secretary of Transportation. Mineta is a Democrat, served as President Clinton's Commerce Secretary for the past 6 months. Also chosen today, Linda Chavez for Labor Secretary and Spencer Abraham for Secretary of Energy. Chavez was director of the Civil Rights Commission under President Reagan. Abraham is a Michigan senator who was defeated last month, December, that is.
And straight ahead for you tonight on CBS 2 at 6, a violent car crash claims the lives of 4 people. We'll tell you where and how it happened.
Then one discount airline may soon find itself out of luck in our area. We'll explain.
And David Rogers checking out that chilly forecast out there.
Hey, you said it, guys. We're live out here on Trump Plaza. Temperatures remain below freezing, but it looks like there could be some relief heading our way. I love your forecast. This is your CBS 2 Information Network.
Closed captioning for CBS 2, provided by Toyota. Real values every day.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. It's Take 5 from the New York Lottery. Now withdrawing 7 days a week. That should make every day a happy day. With you, these days are all.
Good. Better. Best. The best lease of the year on the Mercury Sable LS Touring Edition. This luxurious Sable has moonroof, leather, ABS, a $2,385 value, no charge for thousands less than Camry XLE. But you must act now to lease Sable with no down payment and no security deposit for $329 a month for 36 months with only $329 cash to its son. Get the details at your Mercury dealer or at daretocomparemercury.com.
Is your internet service a joke? My internet service crashes so often. I had to buy a helmet. Get AT&T WorldNet service and get serious. AT&T WorldNet service sets the standard for reliability.
My online service left me so poor, I got married just for the rice.
If you call and order right now, you can get AT&T WorldNet service for only $4.95 a month.
Hello!
That's right, only $4.95 a month, including chat, navigation toolbar, and online support.
My internet service reminds me of my husband. I stare at it for hours, hoping it will move.
And AT&T WorldNet service is fast. It has the fastest log-on time and the highest speed connection among all comparable internet services.
My internet service is so pricey, I had to take a second job. I'm a motivational speaker.
Call 1-800-WorldNet and switch to fast, reliable AT&T WorldNet service for just $4.95 a month. Call now. Get serious. Get AT&T WorldNet service. Call 1-800-WorldNet now.
You're watching the CBS 2 Information Network.
Music's top awards, tomorrow on CBS 2 at 5. Find out who's nominated for the Grammys. We'll bring you the scoop in a CBS 2 VH1 report. Plus, David Rogers and your no-nonsense weather, tomorrow at 5.
Travel troubles for Spirit Airlines. After stranding hundreds of passengers in our area, the airline is now going to have to answer to the Port Authority. Today, passengers waited for hours to get on Spirit Airlines flights at LaGuardia. Flights were delayed for some hours, some flights canceled altogether, and it was the same scene last night. Today, as the backlog built, so did the frustrations.
It's just been mass chaos. They just now recently just separated all the lines, you know, different areas where people are flying, but in the beginning it was just everybody in one line.
The airline blames the holiday volume and the weather for all its problems. Tomorrow, the Port Authority will meet with executives from Spirit Airlines to review their performance and to see what can be done to improve service.
And also tonight, it was kind of a scary first day of the new year on Wall Street.
We're going to check in with Alexis Christoforous from CBS Market Watch, a partner in our information network. Hi, Alexis.
Well, it certainly was a scary beginning to the new year. Wall Street kicked off 2001 on a sour but all too familiar note. Investors seem hung over with the same problems that sent the market plunging last year. Worries about the slowing economy and what that will do to company profits. Here's a look at how we closed out the day. The Dow down 140 points to 10,646. The NASDAQ got clobbered again, down 178 points, a loss of 8%, its lowest level in about 2 years. Stocks were also dragged down by a report that showed manufacturing last month fell to its lowest level in about 10 years. Well, General Electric led the blue chip sell-off. That stock tumbled 9% today on concern about what the slowing economy will do to GE's bottom line. Here at the NASDAQ, internet infrastructure companies took it on the chin. Veritas down nearly 25%. Network appliances off another 20%. An analyst downgraded these stocks. He said spending on computer technology is slowing faster than expected. Even the big names like Cisco Systems fell. But Intel bucked the trend. It rose a buck. Later this week, the chip maker will unveil a portable MP3 player called the Pocket Concert. You can store up to 4 hours of downloadable music. We're live at the NASDAQ market site in Times Square. I'm Alexis Christoforous, CBSMarketWatch.com. Back to you.
Thanks, Alexis.
Still ahead tonight on CBS 2 at 6, the Indian Point Power Plant is supposed to be up and running, but not so fast. We'll tell you why it's still turned off.
Then is a winter warm-up in store for us by the end of the week. CBS 2 meteorologist David Rogers has your forecast when we come right back.
Hi, Tim Twardzik here. We couldn't find a better place to show off our little ones.
3, 4.
Voila! Mrs. T's Rogies. Want to try some?
They're so cute. I want another one.
Huh?
Pierogi.
Mrs. T's Rogies blends fluffy mashed potatoes with cheese or jalapeno and cheddar and wraps it in one delicious mouthful. There's just one side effect. Adults love them and your kids will too. Mrs. T's Rogies. We've got happy food down to a T.
Since 1990, Dr. Della Russo has performed over 20,000 laser vision corrections. Since introducing his flying spot laser by LaDAR Vision, he has performed more LaDAR Vision procedures than any surgeon in the nation. And Dr. Della Russo personally performs each and every procedure in both his New York and New Jersey locations. Experience, technology, personal care. Dr. Della Russo, 212-722-9200.
If you're watching Brett Favre on an ordinary television, you're missing a lot of action. Get a Mitsubishi widescreen HD TV with a picture so real, so clear, you won't miss a thing. Get a Mitsubishi HD TV and pay absolutely nothing for 12 months.
Visit your local Mitsubishi dealer today.
And the year 2000 Tony goes to Kiss Me, Kate.
It's Broadway's biggest winner with 5 Tony Awards and the best reviews of the year. The New York Times cheers Kate is irresistible, like one long ear-to-ear grin. While CBS-TV says hi thee to the Martin Beck Theater to enter musical comedy paradise. Call Telecharge today and make a date with Kiss Me, Kate.
Hot man, it's hot.
Fire destroyed a store in Setauket, Long Island this morning. It started in the Setauket Frame Shop on Main Street. The fire damaging 2 adjoining shops as well. 7 volunteer fire departments, about 75 firefighters responded and managed to save the rest of the strip mall. 2 firefighters were slightly hurt. Investigators think an electrical problem started this fire.
Tonight, speed is being blamed for a deadly crash involving a car and a snow removal truck in Brooklyn. 4 people inside the car were killed early this morning on the Bay Ridge Parkway in Dyker Heights. Their Dodge Intrepid slammed into the front end loader and burst into flames. The truck driver told police that he was busy taking snow off the road when he saw the car speeding toward him and braced himself for the impact. Neighbors say that they're not surprised by the tragedy.
This is like a speedway, racing back and forth, back. It's like the Indy 500.
The driver of the snow removal truck was not injured. Investigators are still trying to determine the victims' identities.
You better hang up if you're driving and talking on a cell phone in Suffolk County. Today is the first work day since the cell phone ban took effect yesterday. Police say they're likely to give you just a warning if they catch you driving and talking over the next few days, but after that, you're looking at a fine of up to $150.
Well, the Indian Point 2 nuclear power plant was supposed to be back online by now, but it is not. The Buchanan facility has been shut down for more than 10 months since a radioactive leak last February. Con Edison planned to have the plant running by Sunday, but safety tests are still being done. The utility says that once the plant gets the okay to start producing power, it'll go back into service gradually.
Well, here we are with weather, and time to, first of all, welcome back.
Thank you, Dave.
Ernie
Nice to be
Anastos,
here. Yeah, nice cold night, too. Warm in the studio, that's for sure.
Is that a subtle, right? Yeah. It's a little toasty in here.
A little toasty in here.
Yeah. We're so glad to have you here.
Thanks, Dave.
Well, you know, the big question everybody wanted to know is, where were you in the snowstorm of the last part of the year? Where were you guys?
Just watching you, that's all.
Yeah, it was coming down.
I was wondering if your wife had your baby. That's why I was watching you. Okay.
Thursday and counting. Who's this guy?
Hey.
He must be out of his mind, huh? What's he doing out there? That was on the roof of our broadcast center on West 57th Street in the brunt of the storm. It was snowing, I don't know, 1.5 inches, 2.5 inches per hour. What a snowstorm, and here it is what it looks like today. Kind of quiet out there. Not a bad way of heading back to work and school after what I hope was a great holiday for all of you folks out there. Temperatures still pretty cold, and it looks like we are going to get a little relief later on this week. Nice looking picture out there. A lot of clear sky, and that's going to be the trend. Temperatures do start to warm up in the daytime. We lose a lot of that heating in the evening hours. Right now at Central Park, mostly clear sky, and temperatures right around 24 degrees, so really having a hard time warming up, especially areas to the north and west where they have all the snowpack. Don't look for temperatures really to warm up too much. Northwesterlies at about 11, relative humidity at 55%, and the barometric pressure is currently on the steady side. All right, around the region, here we go. Newburgh right now at 19 degrees, Bridgeport 22, Belmar is at 21, and Farmingdale's current temperature is at 24. Afternoon highs for us today got up to 26 degrees, well below our average temperature after a morning low of 20 degrees, no precipitation to report, and the sun set this afternoon at 4:40. Now here's where we should be, right around 39 degrees. This is a normal high for the state. Normal lows 26, record high 68, set back in 1876, and the record low 2 set back in 1918. All right, let's take a look across the northeastern part of the nation. We're not the only ones, as you can see, everyone in the act with some of the colder air. Charlotte at 34 right now, while Albany has a temperature of 16, Flint, Michigan 24, Louisville 25 degrees. Cleveland's current temperature is at 21. But later this week, it does indicate, or we do have some indications that things will start to get a little bit better for us as milder air tries to work back into the weather picture. Temperatures still averaging several degrees below normal, but at least we're expected to go a little above the freezing point. For tonight, that's certainly not the story. Take a look at some of the overnight lows. And again, areas to the north and west where you have all the snowpack, that's where you're going to hold on to some of the colder air. Suffering tonight, 0. Vernon, looking for a temperature right around 2 degrees. New York will get down to about 20. Danbury, 13. Even out on the island, Syosset looking for a low right around 15 degrees. Then, as we take a look at your bus stop forecast for tomorrow, bundle the kids up. It certainly looks like another cold start to our day. Temperatures anywhere from 15 to 25 degrees. Westerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, and we'll have plenty of sunshine, but again, very cold temperatures. All right, let's take a look at your 5-day forecast, and here's what we can expect for the rest of the week. Again, plenty of sunshine. Thursday, temperatures up around 33 degrees. Then by Friday, looks like we'll have a mixture of clouds and sunshine. Another fast-moving system could bring more snow to the area on Saturday. Only snow showers at this point, though. Otherwise, temperatures right around 34. And for your day on Sunday, look for plenty of sunshine with afternoon highs right around 36 degrees. So kind of a typical forecast for this time of the year. But at the end of the week, looks like we do start
Keep out the woolies. That's what we need.
Keep them out. That's right, Ernie. Welcome aboard.
Thank you very much.
You bet.
All right, coming up tonight at 11 o'clock, do you know which prescription or over-the-counter drugs are safe to take when you're pregnant? Many women don't, and it's critical. The wrong drug can cause all kinds of injury to your baby. We'll give you the important information you need to know tonight on our CBS 2 Health Watch report tonight at 11.
Still here at 6. Is there any chance of Bill Parcells coming back to coach the Jets?
Yeah, Warner Wolf. The Big W will be here with the answer when we come right back.
Watch Jenna, Jervis, Sue, and Rich only on Hollywood Squares Survivor Week.
Tonight at 7:30 on CBS 2.
The world is yours. Speak the foreign language you've always wanted to speak. The Language Immersion Institute of SUNY New Paltz works. Choose from 20 different languages. Customized programs. Weekends in New York City. Overseas learning. The Language Immersion Institute. Call 845-257-3500. The Language Immersion Institute of SUNY New Paltz. Give us a few weekends, and we'll give you the world.
We got one.
Dunkin' Donuts coffee, hot chocolate, and new Dunkachino. 3 more reasons to be psyched it's winter. Stop by Dunkin' Donuts today and try our 2 donuts combo with your choice of a medium new Dunkachino, hot chocolate, or coffee.
Every morning on the way to work, Greg tells you about his new RX 300 with the Lexus Value Package, the in-dash 6-disc CD auto changer, the leather-trimmed seats, and the awesome power moonroof, all at a $1,500 savings. Greg, the genius. You're starting to hate him, but not nearly as much as you love his car. Ask about the RX 300 Lexus Value Package at your New York, New Jersey, Connecticut Lexus dealer.
Coming up on the next ET, Charlie Sheen's incredible weight loss.
And then I lost close to 30.
We're on the set of Spin City for Charlie's Zone Diet Secrets and a look at the food that helped him shed the pounds. Then Steven Spielberg's wife, Kate Capshaw, in a lesbian love affair with supermodel Elle Macpherson. We're on the set of the controversial new movie. Plus, stars in Aspen and Mark Steinis' home video on his way to the Australian Survivor. Next ET.
Tonight at 7 on CBS 2. Sports on CBS 2, brought to you by your local Lincoln Mercury dealer.
During the Lincoln Holiday Rush, don't miss the absolute best lease of the year on Lincoln Continental New York Edition. With 0 cash due at signing, you get virtually every luxury, including a no-charge moonroof, no-charge maintenance. Through January 2nd, lease a front-wheel drive 275-horsepower Continental with no first month's payment, no security deposit, no cash due at signing. Just $4.99 a month for 36 months. That's 0 cash due at signing. The Lincoln Holiday Rush ends January 2nd.
I feel like I'm in the middle of a family reunion here. These two guys.
Well, that's right.
Mr. Wolf, nice to see you.
Ernie, good to see you. Well, you're the same guy I used to work with, right?
I think so.
Channel 7?
Yeah, I think so.
Then Channel 2?
And Channel 2 as well.
Whatever happened to you?
But Dana was with us, too. She was part of the team. This is old home week, except for David.
He's our new brother.
He's our new
the new guy.
All right.
That's right.
Nice to see you, Warner.
All right, Ernie.
Good night.
That's it. No sports, just hellos. All right, Jets owner Woody Johnson will meet with Bill Parcells tomorrow. Now, as far as Parcells coming back, you ask? Well, you certainly have to believe he meant it almost 1 year ago to the day, January 3rd, 2000.
I'm not going to coach any more football games. This is definitely the end of my coaching career.
You got to believe him. As far as assistant coach Maurice Carthon, well, here he is on the right next to Parcells, talking as far as he taking over for Groh. If 44, Carthon, remember, he's a great blocking fullback. If he is half as good as a coach as he was a blocking fullback, he will have a winning record. Giants 4.5-point favorite to beat the Eagles for the 3rd time this season. Let's go to the videotape. The first 2 Eagle-Giant games. Game 1 was in Philadelphia. In the second quarter, 1 minute left in the quarter, Collins, 21 for 29, 220 yards and 2 touchdowns to Toomer. That made it 13-3. Just 46 seconds later, Tiki Barber, 96 yards, 11 carries. This made it 20-3 Giants, and they won it 33-18. Second meeting, Giants Stadium, October 29th. Ron Dane, 93 yards, 25 carries, 7-0. Second quarter, Collins again. A big day against the Eagles, 14-0 to Toomer. Fourth quarter, Joe Montgomery's only carry of the season. Touchdown, 24-0, and the Giants won it 24-7, beating the Eagles twice. As far as my pro picks last weekend, if you took these 4 pro picks, you lost all 4. Oh. All right, the NFL Defensive Player of the Year, number 52, Ravens middle linebacker Ray Lewis, who only 1 year ago was accused and cleared of a double murder charge. Giants' Keith Hamilton was 5th. Under the category of what have you done for me lately, Ohio State has fired longtime coach John Cooper after 13 years. That's your guy, Dana. 111 wins and only 43 losses. But his downfall, only 3-8 in the bowl games, including the loss last night, and he beat Michigan only 2 times out of 13. You can't do that if you're at Ohio State, right, Dana?
Woody wouldn't allow it.
No. Do we need videotape replay in college football? Well, let's go to the videotape. Last night's Oregon State-Notre Dame game, second quarter. State's wide receiver Chad Johnson gets away, 74 yards for the touchdown. But wait, look what he does, 2 yards shy of the end zone. He drops the ball. That's a fumble, folks. Not only did the referees not see it, what about those 3 Notre Dame guys? What were they looking at? Counting the seats? That would have been a fumble. Notre Dame ball on the 2-yard line.
Just like that.
Just like that.
All right, thank you, Warner.
Miami 6-point favorite to win the night. You know the deal. They could share the
both
mythical crown.
Good. Nice to see you again.
Right, all right, Ernie.
Coming up next tonight, a computer guy comes out of an internet isolation.
The story when CBS 2 at 6 comes right back.
Good. Better. Best. The best lease of the year on the Mercury Sable LS Touring Edition. This luxurious Sable has moonroof, leather, ABS, a $2,385 value, no charge for thousands less than Camry XLE. But you must act now to lease Sable with no down payment and no security deposit for $329 a month for 36 months with only $329 cash to its signing. Get the details at your Mercury dealer or at daretocomparemercury.com.
My son Tommy has to live with asthma every day. So I'm teaching him how to manage his health. His doctor suggested we log on to CBSHealthWatch.com. We get content that goes beyond the basics to help us manage Tommy's asthma. We can chart his results and share information with his doctor. I trust the source his doctor uses. When it comes to living with asthma, Tommy and I are in it together.
CBS Health Watch by Medscape. Visit every day at CBSHealthWatch.com.
No matter what New York neighborhood you happen to live in, chances are HSBC is your neighborhood bank. HSBC, your world of financial services.
Since 1990, Dr. Della Russo has performed over 20,000 laser vision corrections. Since introducing his flying spot laser by LaDAR Vision, he has performed more LaDAR Vision procedures than any surgeon in the nation. And Dr. Della Russo personally performs each and every procedure in both his New York and New Jersey locations. Experience, technology, personal care. Dr. Della Russo, 212-722-9200.
The night has a pulse, a beat all its own.
How will the teacher strike affect?
This is what it feels like.
The details are changing, Mike.
This is what it looks like.
Are residents angry or...
This is the new choice for New York's nighttime news. Weather.
Flash flood watch in effect.
And sports. The new CBS 2 Nightcast at 11.
I'm Angela Rae.
I'm Ernie Anastos.
Part of the CBS 2 Information Network.
The news this morning with Michael Pomeranz and Lisa Hill. Weekdays on CBS 2.
The man known as the .com guy has finally left his mouse pad behind after a year of living on the web. He walked out of a Dallas townhouse just after midnight yesterday. He proved that he could live a year with just a credit card and a computer, never leaving his home. That's it.
Wraps up CBS 2 at 6 this Tuesday. I'm Dana Tyler.
And I'm Ernie Anastos. The CBS Evening News with Dan Rather is next. John Roberts sitting in for Dan. For all of us here tonight at the CBS 2 Information Network, thank you for joining us. Have a good night. See you later on Nightcast tonight at 11.
Saturday, a hostage situation out of control.
If they see a shot, take it.
Now Walker could make the mistake of his life.
You're holding my wife.
Don't miss Walker, Texas Ranger. Then, a serial killer has been on the loose for years.
Press have dubbed him the DC Strangler.
But the clues never led anywhere.
It's been 10 months since the last killing. Where's this guy been?
Until Jack Mannion takes the case.
This guy assumes no one's going to miss a dead prostitute.
Because no one does.
Except us!
The District, all new CBS Saturday.
At the People's Choice Awards, your vote counts. Join all your favorite stars for a night that's as live as it gets.
I want to thank the people.
Will Ray, Julia, or Tom take home the ultimate prize?
Thank you very, very much.
Kevin James hosts The People's Choice, CBS Sunday.
Tonight on The Late Show, Dave opens up the CBS mailbag. Then he's lapping it up with Matthew Broderick. Plus, tonight's top 10 and more. First, your local news.
Right now on Nightcast, Hillary's first night on the town as the freshman senator from New York. Marcia Kramer's live in Washington with the details.
The feds cut a key interest rate and stocks soar. But what does it mean for you and your pocketbook? The answer in our Market Watch report.
Merchants in Astoria learn how to protect themselves after a deadly robbery. Nightcast has the story live.
And the Grammy nominations are out, and VH1's Rebecca Rankin is going to run down the list.
Nightcast right now.
You're watching the CBS-2 Information Network.
Now, live from Fifth Avenue, this is Nightcast.
You can officially call the First Lady Senator Clinton. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ernie Anastos.
And I'm Angela Rae. Hillary Clinton was sworn in today with 10 other new senators. One was New Jersey Senator John Corzine. Connecticut Senator Joseph Lieberman was also sworn in for another term. Senator Clinton didn't waste any time. She attended a big fundraiser tonight. Nightcast reporter Marcia Kramer has the latest live from Washington. Marcia.
Well, Angela, Bill and Hillary Clinton's marriage has had some rocky moments, but tonight, as they celebrated her swearing in as New York's new junior senator, the only thing you could call Bill Clinton was a totally proud husband.
Chelsea and I were holding hands, trying to keep from laughing out loud and embarrassing Senator Clinton. You know, I resisted all temptation. I didn't take one of those little Kodak cameras in there.
Bill Clinton partied hearty at a celebration for his wife swearing in as senator at Washington's Mayflower Hotel. But he just couldn't stop gushing about the woman now known on Capitol Hill as Senator Clinton of New York.
One of the truly wonderful moments in my life.
The president kissed and cuddled his wife in front of over 1,000 adoring supporters and then confessed her election helped him get rid of a guilty conscience.
For 30 years I've been guilt-ridden that when Hillary came to Arkansas and married me, that I'd kept her out of a career in politics that she should have had. So I don't have to feel bad about it anymore.
Ironically, the bash was thrown by financier Walter Kay, a man who inadvertently created the greatest of the Clintons' marital woes. He's the man who got Monica Lewinsky her job as a White House intern. He, too, gushed about Hillary.
I really don't know what to call you anymore. I used to get such a big kick out of calling her Madam First Lady. Now I think I'll make a Senator Madam First Lady Clinton.
Mrs. Clinton thanked her supporters, but for the first time, she also publicly thanked her husband.
And I particularly wanted to thank Bill and Chelsea because this has been an extraordinary experience for me.
And although it was Hillary's party, the outgoing president got a strong vote of approval when Senator Chuck Schumer praised him and his 8 years in office. Now, as you know, Bill Clinton cannot run for president again, but Hillary can, and already there's speculation about it. In fact, I put the question tonight to State Democratic Party Chairman Judith Hope. She winked and gave me a big, knowing smile. Live in Washington, I'm Marcia Kramer, CBS 2 Nightcast. Ernie?
Thank you, Marcia. Just as the 107th Congress got into place, a big announcement in Washington, the Federal Reserve unexpectedly cut interest rates, sending stocks skyrocketing.
We welcome